Thank you, sir. Welcome all dear participants in our one-day international conference, which is organized by Kalsekar College, Mumbai, Thane, Maharashtra, India, on the date 28 May 2023. The following schedule will be implemented through Dr. Sanjay Kalekar, sir, IQC coordinator, Kalsekar College, Mumbai, Thane, Maharashtra, India. Thank you, sir. Kalsekar, sir, please continue.
Good morning, everyone joined in this conference, and a warm welcome from Kalsekar family. I, Sanjay Kalekar, IQC coordinator and the organizing secretary of this conference, put it on record and wholeheartedly welcome the chief guest, the honorable chairman of our trust, Mr. Ahmed Maklai sir, the keynote speaker, respected Dr. Abhijit Kelkar sir from UAE, respected Dr. Janice Fernandez madam from West London University. Our conference partner, respected Wagmare sir, all the research scholars from across the globe. I wholeheartedly again welcome all to this one-day international multidisciplinary conference. Before we begin with the further program, let us seek the blessings of Almighty by reciting holy verses. May I now request Professor Zaid Awaldar sir to recite holy verses from the Quran. Over to you, Zaid sir.
Am I audible? Good
Yes,
morning,
sir.
everyone. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم. What do you, Sanjay sir? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I take privilege to brief about this conference. This conference is an epitome of our yearly activities. It is indeed one of our endeavors as to bring multifaceted achievements to our credit. Our college authorities and IQC always strive to bring omniscient academic developments. This conference would certainly become a new feather added to our cap. The conference is entitled as Research Methodology in Applied Sciences, Library Science, Law, Engineering, Humanities, Social Sciences, Computer, IT, Education, Commerce and Management, and Technology. The aim of this main theme and the related theme is to inculcate research temperament among the stakeholders, like our staff, students, society, and the fraternity in general. This conference is also a course of motive to serve our NAC assessment criteria. The discourse and deliberations throughout this one-day international conference will certainly facilitate the outcome, serving the local needs and bringing a constructive fruits to all of us. I also take advantage of this virtual platform to again felicitate you all on the occasion. Now, from Honorable Management, DRT, Darul Rahmat Trust, Principal, and all my staff, who is always keen on and helpful in certain endeavors, I thank all of them in the beginning of this conference. Now, I call upon and request our respected Principal, sir, to address the gathering and enlighten all of us about a college and the college activities that we under. Over to you, sir.
Yes, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Respected Dr. Abhijit, then Wagmare brothers, my colleagues.
Good morning.
With permission of management, in a short notice, we have been going for conducting online international conference, and we have got a very good response. First, I give the big hand for the Wagmare sir to continuously monitoring and publishing the international conference, and he has shown keen interest towards the Kalsekar College. From the behalf of management, first I thanks to accept our invitation to, in a short notice, to conduct this program, and I'm happy today presenting my welcome speech. So here I have just joined now last 11 months back, and college has progressed a lot. College has established in 2000, and academic year is starting at 2001. And from that journey, the management has started. Now today we have more than 2,000 students which are there, and management has started with a small project, but now they have enlarged their vision and mission which has been made. Today we have 1 orphanages are there, 9 primary schools, secondary schools are there, and more than 10,000 students are serving, and more than 700 orphanages students are there in their orphanages. So this is a big management is there. Vision is very clear, and with that vision, we have been going for the NAC 2 process, and very shortly the NAC peer team is going to visit our college. College has very good premises. The amenities which have been given by the management is up to a 3-star hotel, like a standards which have been maintained, and all the departments, arts, science, commerce, even professional courses, and the result which are there of our college last 20 years, it is a very excellent one. More than 80% now. Last year, if you make out 95%, that will be our average percentage of the last 5 years, which we have been mentioned in our NAC 1. And this year we have been got the Excellent Institute Mumra Award for the college, and Excellence Principal Thane. That is the second award we have received in a Star Education Award 2023. And the unique feature of this college is 70% of the students are girl students. And similarly, if you see the total number of teaching staff is also around 45, and there more than 70% again we have the lady staff members are there. And we have the Registered Alumni Association is there. Then we have ISO certification we have done. Then we have college has registered a local chapter in NPTEL system, and students as well as staff is appearing every year or semester wise. They are appearing for this NPTEL, and 100% we have the result for NPTEL. Our mission and vision, that is Rabbi Jidni Ilma, that is our that what we have in that is, my Lord, increase me in my knowledge. That is the beginning which we have in there. And with this, the motto which we have been started, and now the college has been fulfilling. Now, initially we have started with the 8 courses, and now at this particular time we have been giving 35 courses. In addition to this, we have additional courses, certification courses we are running is 34, and the students which are being benefited from this certificate courses around 2,456 in the last 5 years, means 25% average the students are being benefited from this course, additional courses. The number of facilities will be provided in the colleges are plenty of activities we have been conducted. Main motto of this college is that the focus will be student, and around the student how we can increase the personality. So soft skill, personality development, internship will be given, then industrial visit will be given. If the science students are there, go for the field work will be there. The science exhibition, art exhibition, commerce exhibition, even IT fest is also done, commerce fest is all conducted. This time we have the art fest also we are conducted. And our NSS department is a more active one. And from there we have been conducting around 75 activities. Every year we are conducting. And main we have got applaud from that is the Thana Municipal Corporation regarding the polio drug drive. Our students are going in around villages, Mumra area, and around 7 to 8 weeks they have been conducted the drug polio. Then COVID we have been conducted very nicely. We have been arranged packets also to the COVID and affected flood areas. That also we have been done, and we have been giving maximum exposure to the students for the competition, whether it will be college competition, whether it will be inter-college competition, whether it will be in a university competition. Avishkar is the main play role, that is the research activity, and our staff is motivating the students, and from our students the number goes on increasing year by year. And last year management has published one research book on young scientifica, and Wagmar sir has been published that book, and in that we have around 45 research papers from the students we have got, and that we have been published. So this will be a regular activity of our college. Hereafter we are going to boost the scientific arena to in the students activity. In addition, the library which is there, it is a unique feature of our college. It is the fully automation has done. In library we have 25 computers has been given as a cyber cafe. Student can go over there and with 100 Mbps speed he can search for the various online softwares and refer the various references that will be there in the library. Also a lot of books are there, reference books are there, textbooks are there. And Parvaz is the main activity, cultural activity of our college, where we are been organizing 1 day or 2 days program, and around 80 to 85 activities will be conducted, and more than 1,000 students are been participated in from the various colleges. That is a very unique feature of this our colleges there. So this is what we have, the general we have been making. Now we are going for the snack too, and we have been making so many new facilities for the students. Keeping in the mind, we have been made 3 conference halls, with 2 are with the advanced audio visual system which have been put. Then LED, multimedia LED we have been put. Then we have been made as a language lab. And when we have started this program, more than 2,000 students have been joined this program, and that is the free of cost. And in that we have been done 2 modules for 30 lectures, Arabic language as well as Persian. These 2 successfully we have conducted online. And similarly, we are running now 3 languages, that is the Japanese, German, and French. And in our list, we have around 18 foreign languages. These courses will be run in the college online as well as offline. And now the language lab has been established with 25 computers with the softwares, and regularly offline courses will be also conducted in the college, and that is a very important one. Student has to have the peak point to conduct that particular courses, for the jobs are very nice in that particular area. And skill development we have been established, and placement cell is also very good. Career development programs, then we have gender sensitization program is there. Then we have DLEG is there. So these are the various departments. All department we have been made in this our college, and this will be giving the facility for the students to enhance their personality and go at a higher scale. So this is the from the part, and hope our college can get A+. So make the themes very good. Thanks. Sanjay, next to Sanjay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your briefing. And
I would like to request all participation kindly on your video for the purpose of screenshot for NAC purpose. Kindly on everyone the video, please.
Thank you.
Sir, please continue.
Thank you, Principal sir. Now I put it on record and take an opportunity to introduce Honorable Chairman Darul Rahmat Trust and the chief guest of this program, Janab Ahmed Maklai sir. He is a philanthropist, He is a torch bearer to all of us and a founding pillar of this institute. We wholeheartedly welcome him. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, Sir could not join us today, but we always feel his presence around. We pay our gratitude to him for his help, his wisdom, his cooperation, and his guidance during all our endeavors. Though Sir could not join us today, Sir had sent his message to us. I request our conference convener, Dr. Sajid Ali Sir, to read out his message for all the participants. Over to Sajid Ali Sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Audible.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our Honorable Chairman of Darul Rahmat Trust, Janab Ahmed Maklai, sir, I, Dr. Sajid Ali, convener of this conference, would like to convey his message to all of you. Good morning, everyone, all present here. Thank you in advance for joining us for this One Day International Multidisciplinary Conference 2023. It is my pleasure to welcome you all and the eminent guests, speakers, and the researchers who have come from across the world today to share their knowledge and to deliberate on all the aspects of the research methodology and related areas and concerned themes for this conference. Today's conference had around 100 enthusiastic participants from around the globe. This will make our conference truly an international one. We as a trust have come a long way right from the establishment of this institute in 2001 with the Faculty of Arts and the Commerce. The Faculty of Science was introduced in 2004-5 with the wonderful infrastructure and academic courses. We are running successful institutional development to date. We are well known for quality education, excellent academic results, and social commitments. Today, the conference is organized with the aim to enhance and inculcate the research temperament amongst the staff and the students. This will also cater to the needs of the society around. I appreciate the conference organizers and wish you all the best for this international conference. Finally, I would like to thank all the guest speakers, participants, and our conference partner, Mr. Wagmar Brothers. With your constant support, this conference will become a fruitful one. I wish everyone all the best. Thank you. Over to Sanjay, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Now, on behalf of A. Kalsekar College, all my staff, respected principal, sir, IQAC, Research Committee, and the entire organizing committee, I once again heartily welcome you to this virtual platform. Now I hand over the further program to Mr. Wagmare, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thank you. Warm welcome everyone in our today's international conference, which is organized by Kalsekar College, Mumra, Thane, Maharashtra, India. I would like to thank first Sajid Hundekar sir, respected Sajid, Dr. Sajid Hundekar sir, for given the tender for Sri Wagmar Brothers for creating this event successful. Our media partner, Z Media, Star Pravaha, Lok Satta, Lok Mat, Times of India, Indian Express, Divya Marathi. Also thanks for giving the fully response from India and abroad for making this event successful. And thanks Sanjay Kalsekar sir also for giving the opportunity and making the agreement with our company. Thank you, sir. I would like to go through the actual conference. Dear participants, good morning. PhD scholar, teachers, professors of Indian universities and abroad universities, scientists of research labs, patent holders, doctor of pure science, applied science, Army Defense Department, vice chancellors, police commissioners, and industrialists, as well as resource persons, principal, teaching, non-teaching, teaching faculty of Kalsekar College, Mumbai, Mumbai, Thane, Maharashtra. Today, on date 28 May 2023, one day international multidisciplinary conference, we are going to organize this with the support of Sri Wagmare Brothers Private Event Management Company for publication and marketing of this event. On today's 28 April 2023, one day international conference, multidisciplinary conference on role of research methodology, pure science, applied science. This conference is organized by Kalsekar College, Mumbai. This conference objective and aims to give the best platform for cultivate innovative and scientific approach, scientific mind to do the stronger and stronger the higher education system of India through doing scholarly research publication, research paper presentation, research paper reading, patent exhibition for fulfillment the requirement of career announcement scheme as well as UGC criteria, PhD degree requirement, and for acquire abroad university and college jobs for betterment of the human lifestyle and the betterment of the society. So, Sri Wagmare Brothers always helps to conduct the international events for betterment the educational system of India and abroad to provide the outstanding excellence publications, paper support for creating the scholarly education academic based educational content. I would like to announce that today, one day international conference, which is organized by Kalsekar College, is achieve higher success. Approximately 72 plus participants have been participating in this conference because of only I think so 13 days back. Like Kalika sir called me, sir, please कुछ करो sir, हमारा conference लेने का है. So I have just given my term, my promise. Yes, sir, I would like to do within this 10 or 11 days, we acquire 72 plus articles from India and abroad. Or especially thanks to this, the participation, love, and believeness in our college and our event management company. Okay, one article belongs to the Nigeria, rest remain belongs to the India. Total, I would like to say total 63 papers from India and one from Nigeria. Okay, I would like to thanks all the participants, IQC coordinator, Professor Dr. Kalsekar sir, Dr. Hundekar sir, and Sajid Ali sir for support to organization this one day international conference. I would like to thanks our media and partners, Z Media, Z Channels, Sony Channels, ABP माझा, Z Marathi, local newspapers such as Lok Satta, Lokmat, Pudhari, Indian Express, University News, etc. for done the wonderfully making this event successful. Again, thanks to everyone for sending research paper for today's international conference. Thank you. I would like to start this conference through Janaganaman, sir. Janaganaman will be start. Please wait. Please wait. I would like to request all, please stand up. Thank you. Sit down. Thanks. When we just listen the national anthem, that time our soul, our mind, our expectation level and career advance, we just making the betterment and whole the career of our educational depends on our activity. Therefore, the pure activity is going on here in this one day international conference. I would like to hand over next session to Kalsekar sir for introduction. Respected Dr. Kelkar sir from Dubai. Sir, please continue. Sanjay Kalsekar sir, please continue.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Now I take the program ahead, the introduction to the guest and the welcome. For Dr. Abhijit Kelkar, sir, I request Dr. Fatima madam to please introduce and welcome, sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sanjay sir. Assalamu alaikum, a very warm good morning to all the attendees of today's one-day international multidisciplinary conference. It is my privilege and honor to introduce and welcome our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Abhijit Kelkar, a remarkable personality who has made significant contributions as an industry-turned-academician, researcher, and trainer. With a career spanning over 23 years, Dr. Kelkar has excelled in diverse fields, including accounting, finance and taxation, forensic accounting, human resource management, soft skill, research methodology, and journal management. He has worked in Oman, the United Arab Emirates, and India, gaining valuable industry exposure in sectors including manufacturing, retail, beverage industry, and import-export operations. Dr. Kelkar's educational qualifications are truly impressive, showcasing his dedication to knowledge and expertise. He holds a PhD degree alongside a master's degree in commerce and business administration. Additionally, he has acquired specialized diplomas and certificates such as MDBA, DTL, GDC and A, DFM, CFAP, and CA. This extensive academic background has provided him with a solid foundation to excel in both academia and industry. This hand-on experience has given him unique insight into the practical application of theoretical concepts. As a trainer and consultant, Dr. Kelkar's expertise has been sought after by prominent organizations worldwide. He has developed customized training and development programs tailored to the need of a bank, corporate sectors, companies, and educational institutions. His impact has been felt in esteemed institutions such as the National Law Institute, University, Symbiosis Law School, ICICI Bank, and University of Technology and Applied Sciences, and many more. Beyond his professional accomplishment, Dr. Kelkar is also a renowned author, having authored a textbook on management accounting at the BBA level. He has shared his research findings and insights as a participant, presenter, and keynote speaker at numerous national, international conference, seminars, workshops, and faculty development programs. His contribution has enriched the academic and professional communities, fostering growth and innovation. Currently, Sir is serving as a faculty member at University of Algeria in United Arab Emirates, Dubai. Sir has continues to inspire and empower individuals through his vast knowledge and unwavering commitment to excellence. Today, we have the privilege of benefiting from Dr. Kelkar's expertise as he graces us with his presence as a keynote speaker. His knowledge, coupled with his passion for sharing and imparting wisdom, promises to make this session truly enriching and inspiring. We eagerly look forward to his address on the topic New Education Policy versus R&D in India and Abroad. Once again, on the behalf of a DRT's Kalsekar Degree College, I extend warm welcome to Dr. Abhijit Kelkar, sir. Welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much, Fatima madam, for this great introduction of mine. I really appreciate the things, and I really have started thinking that I am really a great person because of your great introduction. You know, jokes apart, on a lighter side, I really don't believe myself to be that expert or something. No way. All are in the learning stage, obviously. But thank you so much for formal introduction of mine. So, respected Chairman, Kalsekar College, Sajid Ali sir, Sanjay Kalekar sir, Sajid Undekar sir, all the faculty members and authorities from Kalsekar College. I just thank all of you at the outset, in the beginning itself, for just introducing the I would say the participants to such a vast area of research through which they will gain a good amount of knowledge, I believe, throughout the day, and they will get a good insight, good real value addition in terms of research experience, those who are already the researchers and those who are not, kind of. After that, I would like to thank Shri Wagmare Brothers Private Limited, especially Mr. Kishore Wagmare. Our Kishore Wagmare ji has been instrumental in inculcating the habit of research methodology, research areas throughout the country, and I would say beyond the country limits as well. And that is the reason why, I really thank him from the bottom of my heart, because nowadays, as we participate in many research conferences, including the conferences in the United Arab Emirates or Bahrain or Oman or Kuwait, everywhere we see one common thread, that is a tick mark, that is the compliance. That, okay, I have attended this thing, one certificate I have got, and that's it. That is one of the tick marks of my procedural compliances for whether I am pursuing PhD or I am in the process of getting promoted. But beyond that, when we look at the research conferences like the one which is organized today by Kalsekar College, what I am really going to get out of that, how I am going to use that in the day-to-day life, how am I going to use it for the society? How am I going to use it for the... Ultimately, friends, please try to understand. Let me be a little point blank that obviously we are not supposed to do any research only for the society. I agree. You have to be a little bit selfish, right? But only thing is, at the time of being selfish, obviously the research objective, research purpose should not be rather exclusively for the own purpose, but it should be something for the society purpose as well. Friends, just give me only 1 minute only. There is one emergency call from my college. I'm really sorry. Just give me 1 minute.
Understand.
I'll be back.
Okay. काशीकर सर, सगळ्यांना व्हिडिओ ऑन करायला लावा आणि सगळ्यांचा स्क्रीनशॉट काढून घ्या, कारण की स्क्रीनशॉट आपल्याला अपलोड करावं लागणार आहे.
Yes, sir.
I would like to request all the participants, please on your video for the purpose of NAC, because of while reporting, it should be reflected the face also, please.
Yeah, extremely sorry, because sometimes you have to, because there is just coincidentally there is a ministry audit. Every year there is a ministry audit for the accreditation by Ministry of Education, United Arab Emirates, and that audit is expected in the next week. So in that connection, many of you are faculty members, so you are aware. Whenever any accreditation audit comes, what is the rigor with which we have to work. Anyway, sorry for the interruption as such in the meantime. So what I was saying is, we have to be selfish when it comes to the research, but at the same time, we have to be little bit aware that what we are really going to contribute to the entire research ocean as such. A drop in that research ocean is going to make a difference. Believe me, friends, whenever your good research pays you, not in terms of recognition, not in terms of promotion, not in terms of compliance tick mark in case of research methodology, coursework or something like that sort of, but when you get an email that XYZ person has referred you in the falana journal, your research paper was referred, and that is the real achievement, that whatever work you have done is being recognized by, is being used by, is being tried to be taken the inputs from by some different researchers, and that is the real, I would say, achievement of your research, or if you are good research in terms, if we talk about. Now, before I really start my PowerPoint presentation, let me tell you honestly that most of us take the research the way in which we used to take it before COVID, before Corona. Okay, so basically research is same, research procedures are same, research factors are same, research components are same, but research approach has changed drastically. Let me tell you honestly, 180-degree change, even if you can call it as, has taken place, especially after Corona. We all know that before March 2020, there were many things which were not there in existence, and post-Corona, there are many things which are now existing, and we have to cope up with all such kind of things, and uncertainty and risk is a part and parcel of that. And funding, finance criterion is also one of the important, I would say, criteria which has got affected, especially during the post-COVID, duration or during this time. So it has become now essential for us to think of what my research is going to be about. Number one, how is it going to pay me? Pay me not necessarily financially, but financially as well as non-financially. How is it going to pay me back? And number three, how is it going to contribute to the research fraternity? How is it going to contribute to the entire research ocean? How can I be the good contributor in the research area? That is what your objective should be ideally, and then automatically all compliances, tick marks, and your quantum will go high. One more thing which I would like to quote here in the beginning itself, that friends, new educational policy of India, reforms in 2020 and 2023 onward, they have started implementing it. It talks about the quality of research. It talks about the real research. Because gone are the days when we used to show the list to the authorities that I have got 20 publications, I have got 30 publications, I have got 40 publications. Nowadays, they ask the question, we are not interested in having how many publications, but where your publications are, in which area, in which journals, who are the authorities who have granted you the research grants, how many industries sponsored your projects, how many MOUs or contracts or some mutual I would say relationships you have been through as far as the industry is concerned, how your research contributions are impacting the economy, the industry, and the other applied research. In short, how it is applied, how is it applied in a variety of ways, how there is a versatility in your research. All these are the questions which are being asked nowadays, rather than me showing some journal publication, because now journal publications are very common. Which journal publications? Scopus indexed, Q1, Q2, Q3, CARE, UGC approved. All these are the words which we must get ourselves pretty much serious about. And accordingly, if we start pretty much focused, well-organized, well-planned research, I'm sure all of us will be having some good research, some medium or middle level research, and some very basic level research. I don't say that Scopus indexed publication can be the dream from the day one. Obviously not. But Scopus indexed publication has to be the distant dream, not really very much distant, not really a very far distant, but yes, we have to achieve Scopus indexed publication as soon as possible. Start with some basic journals, start with some articles, start with some book review, and your research approach should be concrete, focused, and you should know where you want to go. Basically, I have seen many researchers in our university, including myself, because we keep on interacting with many persons and we ourselves come to know that we are also doing many mistakes every day, including myself. We are often in the cross-functional, or we are trying to enter into the field which is not really belonging to us. Forget about that. First, conquer your own field. There is an ocean of your own specialization. Take HR, take marketing, take operations, take finance, take auditing, take general management, take banking and finance. Many areas of specializations are there. So conquer your own area of specialization from the fullest angle, from all the facets. Thereafter, you can go for entering into the multidisciplinary area, barring an exception or barring a case wherein you are doing a joint research, wherein one from HR, one from marketing, and one from finance are writing paper together. That is different issue. But you yourself are shifting yourself to the other area. Please be careful, because before entering the other area, please ensure yourself that you have conquered, you have covered all the facets of your own area of specialization. So with this, let me just share with you. I won't say that I'm going to give you very good knowledge as such, because that will be too high word for me to use. But I am just going to share with all of you some of the experience, I would say incidents, some of the experiences through which I have gone through which you might get some kind of value addition. That's the thing only which I would like to say. I won't say I will give you a knowledge, but I will share with all of you my own thought process, my own experience, and perhaps I hope somebody will get something out of it. So let me just share the things with you. Vagmari sir, could I request you to please allow me to share the screen? Yeah. Okay, so this is my let me just share this. Okay, so already my introduction is being done, so I will not spend much time in what am I doing currently. I'm just working as a university professor in United Arab Emirates. So this is the jigsaw puzzle, not a jigsaw puzzle as such, but a puzzle in our brain. We know many things are there in front of us. Which one to fix where is the best choice which we have to make. And believe me, friends, just like finance, there is no scope for the opportunity cost for our career nowadays. There is no scope. There is no second chance. Only one chance you will get. You have to grab that opportunity. You have to make the best use of it and proceed, progress. Otherwise, it will be a halted kind of journey, which is not really advisable. So you have to be very much careful in fixing this particular piece of puzzle, where to fix it, and should be with confidence. There are so many places at which you can fix, but the right fixation of the piece is very important. Now, by piece here, I mean to say the opportunity, the research area, the research topic, the journal, the environment, the objectives, the hypothesis, the statistical tool, the type of research, right? And whether the funded, non-funded, granting authorities, accreditation authorities, and so on and so forth. So that piece includes all such meanings. Remember a few things before the procedure start. Connect with the practical oriented approach. Please try to understand only problems description, not expected. Probable solutions are also required. Now, corporate sector has changed it drastically. Earlier, when we used to go to the bosses and tell them that this is the problem, they used to pat on our back. Oh my God, how genius you are. You have recognized the atmosphere very nicely. Environment study is pretty much nicely done. But nowadays, if you go to the boss with only the problem, it is half patting on back only. Not only the problems. So the same is the thing with the research. People go ahead with unique kind of research, unique or different kind of topic of research. But when it comes to research outputs, when it comes to research findings, conclusions, and most important is the recommendations and suggestions, there is a far cry. And then the entire show goes for a toss. You have chosen topic very wisely, you have studied very nicely, but you were not able to tell us what is the probable solution, what is the probable direction in which I should go. I means the stakeholder, those who are the users of your research. And if that is not what is done, irrespective of whatever statistical tool, big statistical tests you have used, parametric data, non-parametric data, ANCOVA, cluster, this, that, all is of no use, because industry is not really industry is not full of statisticians. Please try to understand. Journal will publish your paper based on the contents. They will not be pretty much careful about, or they will not be taking care of what are your contributions. They will only look at it. Every stakeholder has got different vision to look at it. You have different vision. पेपर कितना बढ़िया बन गया है, कितना रिच बन गया है, कितना वैल्यू एडिशन वाला बन गया है, मेरा विजन है एज अ रिसर्चर। आपके जो गाइड है उनका विजन है कि मेरे स्टूडेंट ने कितना बहुत बढ़िया रिसर्च पेपर बनाया, कितना मैंने उसको अच्छी तरह से गाइड किया है। जो जर्नल वाले हैं उनका they will be looking at it from the angle of what are the contents, statistical tools, rich statistical tools used or not, reference कैसे हैं, क्या है, उसमें कितना मैपिंग किया है, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, हाइपोथेसिस कितने सेटिस्फाई हुए, ये नहीं वो नहीं, ऑल टेक्निकलिटीज ऑफ जर्नल्स। बट द लास्ट स्टेक होल्डर्स, दोज हु आर द implementers of your findings and conclusions are the industry or the government authorities. And government authorities and industry are not interested in your research objectives, hypothesis, statistical tools, environment, references. They are only interested in your findings and conclusions and recommendations and suggestions. What is it lying in this research for me to take, to implement, and to get benefited? That's the only part which they look into. And based on that, they will take a call. आपने बहुत अच्छा statistical tool इस्तेमाल किया है, कोई fund आपको नहीं मिलने वाला. Funding will be granted. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to degrade statistical tools use. Please don't misunderstand. Statistical tools use is inevitable in a good research paper. What I'm trying to say is the stakeholders who are going to grant the funds to all of you, those who are going to sponsor your research, are not going to rely only on the statistical tools. It is one of the benchmarking parameters, but the main parameter is how you are contributing, how you are really going to give them the value addition, and based on that they will take a call. And as we progress further in this PPT, I would like to mention here, emphasize here that please emphasize or focus on sponsored research. I am aware that nobody is going to get the sponsored research from the day one. At a basic level you will not get, but try. Not failure, but low aim is a crime. That's what it is being said. So try for the sponsored research from the beginning itself. One day it will come that you will know the knack of how to get the sponsored research. You know, that is what is something which is required, because if you really want to have a good research, it requires a lot of funding, and that funding every time may not be possible to get it from your college or your any known authority and something. Industry has got good amount of funding budgets. Government authorities have got good amount of funding budgets in India as well as abroad. But it is the matter of clicking, how you convince them through your work that yes, इसमें कुछ दम है. वो दम वाली बात जो है, उसी के बारे में we are just going to try. We are going to just think on this. So mapped outcomes of research with the overall industry or sector, a real need, real perspective. Old wine in the new bottle, gone are the days. As I said, usually I give that example, working capital management, microfinance, or financing in MSME. These are all the, pretty much already multiple times used research subjects, research topics. Please come up with some unique, different kind of topic in which you can really dig out something in a concrete way. Otherwise, you will be one of the millions. Don't be one of the millions. Be yourself, one of tens, one of hundreds. That is okay. Creativity and innovativeness, no more crucial, but the major prerequisites for the acceptability of research. In for few of my previous conferences, I have given this example. All of us know that the inventor of the bulb is Thomas Alva Edison, right? But let me tell you, before Edison, 17 persons had invented electricity, right? But the credit went on to Edison, because Edison was not only creative, he was innovative also. He immediately went on to New York municipality. He got the contract of lighting, putting the bulbs on the New York municipality, some road. And he just marketed himself in such a way that people started thinking that Edison was the inventor of, we don't want to take out his credit. No doubt he was an inventor of bulb. He was a genius person. He was a scientist. He was a brilliant person. No doubt about it. But he was not the only person. Before him, many persons had invented electricity as such, but nobody gave them the credit. So creativity and innovativeness. So creativity backed by marketing, and marketing will come to you only when you have got concrete outcomes to show, and concrete outcomes to show will come to you only when your research is so weighty that it will give you a good grant, good sponsoring authority. You can hit the drums like anything if your research is good enough. So innovativeness, that is marketability, will come only when the quality is there. And quality will come only when the creativity is there. So remember a few things: cross-functional, collaborative research, applied research. Applied research is something which is being emphasized nowadays in the new educational policy. NEP talks about applied research. We have got so many correlational, descriptive, environmental, experimental, exploratory, grounded out. One of that is applied. And most of the focus by the new educational policy of India, or forget about India, all over the world, is talking about applied research, right? I will not go into the details of the research methodology as such, because there are going to be the sessions who will throw some light on that. But mind well, you have to have the applied research. Technology connection has to be there. If you are not using, if you are not making use of, if you are not referring the advanced technology like artificial intelligence, everybody is talking about nowadays. Chat GPT is also everybody talking about nowadays. Algorithms, blockchain. In short, fintech, financial technology, or HR tech, or marketing tech, everything connected with the technology. That should invariably be your research topic, rather than going for the very commonly applied topic, which is of no use, to be very honest with you. Economy connection, industry connection, how you are going to contribute, how your research is going to contribute to the economy as a whole, to the industry as a whole. कोई लोग ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि सर क्या बात कर रहे हैं, हमारे एक रिसर्च पेपर से कौन सा इकोनॉमी को फर्क पड़ने वाला है, इतनी बड़ी इकोनॉमी इंडिया की. तो how our research, please try to understand, one reference of your paper by a good person who is an economist or who is an expert in economics will open the doors for your research for 1,000 different streams, because he will refer, she will refer it and put it across his or her own network. Again, it will get, multiplication effect will come. So don't think that your paper is not going to create any impact. If it is a good paper, it will get a value and it will have a good impact. It will contribute considerably. Unique and emerging areas, I already have told. Creativity and innovativeness, we have already talked about it. Now, revised educational policy, making research as a part of curriculum in bachelor's as well as master's. It's something which is they are planning for. 4 years integrated program for 3 years in bachelor's and 1 year in master. Very interesting fact I would like to share with all of you, how educational policy is emphasizing this research in India especially. India is spending, as per the 2022 research, one of the research papers of the researchers in India only, Bangalore-based researchers, 0.69% of the GDP is spent for the research by India. Whereas China, Japan, Russia, US, Germany are spending more than 3.5%. So the percentage of spending of GDP on research for all these other countries is also considerably small. 3.5 is not really a big amount, but comparing with India, it is too high amount. Where is 0.69% and where is more than 3.5%? Some 3.5, some 3.85, some 4.25 kind of stuff. Yani on an average more than 3.5. So definitely we are lagging behind, and that's why in the same research paper they have made, the researchers have found out that most of the India produced research is quantum based, not quality based, theoretical based, not applied based. And that's the reason why if you go through the NEP, new educational policy, you will come to know that they have emphasized applied research, not any other research. You can have any other research also, but more often they are encouraging researchers to do some applied research. Critical thinking and multidisciplinary approach is also need of an hour. I hope I'm clearly audible, friends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So 10+2 structure is replaced by 5+3. That is not really applicable to us as such, but as the new educational policy, so uniform and inclusive transition from school to high school to college, very, very important thing. Try to understand that there has been too much chaos in the research field, because one day, I don't want to name, because see, it's very easy for us as citizens to blame the political parties, to blame the ruling government or opposition parties and so on. But ultimately, it is up to us how to get accustomed to all these changing environment. So I don't want to take the name. I don't want to take any party's name as such. It is not a platform for that. But let me tell you honestly, one day, one HRD minister of India at that time suddenly announced that PhD is a mandatory. Khalas, it is required. This is not the way, and it was pretty much criticized by, there is one Oxford school research on Indian research or Indian rather educational system, academic system, overall this thing. And in that research, they have clearly mentioned, so don't look at it only at me, that it is me who is saying that, but Oxford Press run by Oxford School makes a research at international level every year. So that year they made the research on whether this is, and they clearly mentioned that this is not the way in which it should have been done. Now here we are not going to criticize whether this was done correctly, wrongly, forget about it, because what has happened few years back, more than 10 years now, I would say. But suddenly that HRD minister announced that tomorrow onward PhD is a must, and then every Tom, Dick and Harry was behind PhD. Now if you see, friends, everybody around you is a doctor. Dr. X, Dr. Y, Dr. Z, Dr. Tom, Dr. Dick, Dr. Harry. There is no harm in calling ourselves as a doctor, but are we really carrying that responsibility? Are we doing that research? Are we doing that research of that quality? Are we calling ourselves doctor merely because we got the PhD, or we are carrying the same responsibility? And this question is applicable to me as well. It is not that I am asking this question. No way. It is asked to everybody. And if the answer is yes, perhaps we should be proud enough. But if the answer is perhaps a little bit shaky, then obviously we are a doctor. Nobody is going to call ourselves as no doctor, but then we must produce something quality to give justice to the title which we are carrying. And that is what is something people are nowadays thinking on it, that compliance to the tick marks to the research, please be careful about it, because in Indian universities also nowadays, they are insisting too much on concrete research value addition outputs, not only merely doctorate degree or a doctorate as such in front of you, in front of your name. So that is very much important. Uniform and inclusive translation has to be there, not only from school, but as a process, as a researcher, basic framework. What is research? How am I looking at it? How am I going to apply that? Don't be behind publications. Yesterday only, not yesterday, I'm sorry, in the last week only, we had rounds of interviews in our university. And there were some British guys and all these also. And they had very few journal publications. So my dean, dean of the Faculty of Business Management asked a question that, my friend, you seem to have very less amount of research. Why less publications? And, then they said that on an average, American, European or UK based top class journals take minimum 1 year to inform you whether your paper is accepted or not. So he said that if you really see the journals in which I have published my papers quantity is pretty much less, but see the journals and see my papers, you will get the answer. And with confidence he answered that, and believe me, it was a very, very correct and aptly given answer by him, that you don't look at the quantity nowadays, you look at the quality. And during 1 year course span of time, I know few researchers in India as well as here also in Middle East also, who can produce at least 4 or 5 research papers in the span of 1 year. Now, I don't want to question the quality. I don't want to question the genuineness or reliability of those research papers. My point is, if you really want to have the focused, step-by-step, steady, well-planned research methodology approach or knowledge to be acquired by you, please don't get for any shortcuts, because the moment you get the shortcuts, you might create the quantity but not necessarily the quality. And that's it. Affordability, accessibility, quality, equality, and accountability of research. This is something which they are talking about, especially in new economic policy 2023. Affordability of the research, how it will come, how affordability will come. You can't afford to sponsor your own research every time. You may sponsor your own research 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but not every time. Your college cannot sponsor each and everybody else's research, but then there are research sponsoring authorities in India as well. Industry also, government, non-government, NGOs are there. So many things are there. Affordability, accessibility, you should be getting accessed. You should be accessible. Your research paper should be accessible. For being accessible, it has to be published in good journal. For getting published in good journal, it has to be of good quality. If it has to be of good quality, you have to have good research outputs in that. So quality automatically will come, equality will come, and accountability. We should be accountable for our own research. Plagiarism and Turnitin should not be the case of worry for us. Many researchers do not publish in the big journals because they will get caught for the plagiarism. Our research paper should be, you check it against any, Turnitin is one of them. There are many softwares of plagiarism. Turnitin, XYZ, any plagiarism risk, check, be assured that it doesn't contain anything which is plagiarized. If that is what is the confidence level is, believe me, nobody can stop us from publishing in good research paper, good journals. R&D education, smart teaching, smart learning, business models, sustainability, sustainable development. These are all the things which will come into the research of your own respective organization. Irrespective of the state in which you are working, irrespective of the organization for which you are working in, believe me, all of them are now expecting smart approach in work from you. Gone are the days when you used to say, "मैं 10 घंटा काम कर रहा हूं, मैं सुबह 9 बजे आया, रात को 9 बजे गया." They will say, what is the output? That's the only thing. Here in our universities also, it is the same. My boss never asks me, when did you join the college? Obviously, when there are sessions, I have to be, but he never asks me, when did you join? When did you leave? But if not a single work expected of me on timeline, on the given deadline is completed, straight away the memo will come to me. No excuses at all. This is what the industrialization, or I would say corporatization of the academics has already started all over the world and in India also. So gone are the days. Don't insist on the time. Smart. How you do the work is more important. How much you work is not really going to be important. How you do it in a smart way, obviously how much will be going high. More amount of work you can handle in less amount of time if you are doing smartly. Sustainability, sustainable development, also one of the important things. Time and cost aspect, competitive advantage, how your research is different from the other. What is that? How your research has an edge over the others' research. That is what is important. What makes you all must be taking interviews. You all must be aware that our placement records, one post, 500, 600 applications are there. So what is the special thing in us that will enable them to take a decision that I am selected and all others are said, sorry, we have selected somebody. So uniqueness, competitive advantage over the others. Hybrid approach of online and offline learning. We have to make good research topics out of that. And that's the reason why MOUs or agreements with the industry is very important, because even if industry is not sponsoring you, they might give you some shadowing projects. They might give you some sabbatical. They might give you some MBA projects, MBA, what we call it as graduation projects, for your students. Or they might give you some sponsored research, or if all these things are not given to you, while interacting with the industry persons, continuously, they might give you some good idea, which will inculcate the overall research ideas amongst ourselves. That's it. So you have to, I will just end up within a few minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. This is the, you have to hit that, that correct circle. if the correct circle is not hit, because you are not going to get many opportunities. So you have to be very much careful. Opportunity lost is opportunity cost. So while doing research, selection of the research, statistical tool, objectives, environment, research questions, right? Research problem, findings, conclusions, and recommendations and suggestions, references, literature review. All technical aspects of research have to be there, but ensure they are unique, practical oriented, connected to the industry or the stakeholders, and worthy of getting some funds. Smart boards, these are all the things. Forget about this R&D in education, because I'll just go through. These are all the typical things. Textbooks more or less becoming an outdated things, at least in higher education institutes. Finish all that is served within a platter is an old approach. US, US, UK, European universities are talking about vocational based training. You are good at which, you do that only. Whereas in our case, still the British approach, old British approach, UK itself has gone ahead with a drastic change. Let me tell you, case study approach was stopped by Harvard Business School. Whereas case study approach is taken very nicely by all our Indian, and even in Middle East also they are talking case study. Whereas case study, who in Harvard Business School, who invented that case study approach, themselves stopped it long back, but we are using it till now. So UK has also gone drastic and change. It has undergone a drastic interchange, but finish all that is served in the platter is our approach, but it is not the correct approach. Whatever you can finish, whatever you are good at, focus on that and excel in that, rather than master of jack of all and master of none, like that it is being said. And that's it. This is something which is ROI concept. Please try to understand. Return on investment. Your stakeholders will try to look at it from return on investment. You also try to look at it from the angle of ROI concept. Am I doing really? Am I getting good returns? And returns may not be here cash. Returns may not be here a monetary returns. Non-monetary returns also. How much is the recognition? How much is the accessibility of my research paper? How many good research journal researchers have taken my research paper in their references, bibliography, or literature review? How many of them? That is also one of the returns on your investment in terms of time and cost. And this is the approach. Consistently monitored research process. This all I have talked about. That's why this is the thing which you have to be very much careful. Please go through this, strategy. These are all the strategic things for your research. Do the research strategically. Don't do the research for the sake of doing research. Strategies. Strategy X, strategy Y, strategy Z, right? Practical oriented. Then technologically sound and feasible. And last but not the least, refinements and consistency in the refinements. It is a continuous process, not an end, right? It is a continuous process. You have to be very much careful about what kind of research area you are choosing, how you are choosing, why you are choosing, is there any scope for doing further research in that, and so on and so forth. Some of you are at the middle level, some of you are just starting or beginning phase, some of you are in the guide, some of you are in the students phase. My point is, whenever we are doing our research, to each and every stakeholder or to each and every researcher, ensure that your research is full of strategy. It has to have strategy. Why am I doing research? What is it going to create? And ultimately it is leading to what? And it could be leading to anything. But as I said, not necessarily compliance or promotion. That is one of the criteria, obviously, but not the only criteria to which we should look for. So this is the thing which I should be research overall process, validity, reliability, Cronbach alpha, confidence intervals, everything technically your guide and you will take care of that. I'm just putting on it from the upper angle as such. So sustainable goals here also, in UAE also, in Oman there is the research authority, TRA, that's what they call. Here also there are Sheikh Zayed research authorities there. Then Rashid Al Maktoum Research Center is there. Every emirate has got their own research authority, by the way. But every research authority is funding. Many big conglomerates in the UAE are sponsoring the research, but they should get convinced that I am trying to produce something which is of their help. Nobody is interested in doing social service. Please try to understand, friend. Even if we talk about many things, let me put it across, on record, that even if we talk about many things, ultimately, everybody will spend the money only and only when there is a chance of getting that money back in direct way or in an indirect way. Of course, social responsibility, CSR and all these things are there. But when it comes to funding of the research, nobody will fund in order to develop the research atmosphere. Everybody will fund especially to see that there is something lying in that research beneficial for them who are going to sponsor. So please try to understand there should be something useful rather than quantum quality plays a role, and so on and so forth. And this is what something which I always keep my last slide. Research and knowledge journey. The first question, where do we stand? We have to recognize that. We have to identify ourselves. Where do we stand? Number two, where are we leading to? Ultimately, by doing all these things, where are we leading? What is the ultimate goal, objective? And finally, last but not the least, are we wise enough to hold that baton and shift it to the other hand? And if the answer of all these things are affirmative, satisfactory, clear, sorted out, then perhaps we are the best researchers, can assume ourselves as best researchers and proceed and progress further. But till that moment, you have to understand uniqueness, creativity, innovativeness, sponsored research, connection with the industry or important stakeholders, and real value addition with ROI, return on investment concepts. If you do, and aim for the Scopus indexed publication or those publications which are glamorous, at least in those particular times in which you are a researcher. Currently, it is Scopus indexed publication. Start from the humble beginning, but reach to the Scopus indexed publication, or maybe Q1, Q2 and all these things. Perhaps our journey for the research will continue with the robust and concrete outputs which can be proudly shared with all the stakeholders. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I hope you took something out of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. The outstanding lecture delivered by you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I would like to request all the participants, do you have any question? The participants, do you have a question regarding Kalsekar sir lecture? I think so. There is no any question. Sir, Sanjay Kalsekar sir, please.
Thank you so much, respected Dr. Abhijit Kalsekar sir, for your elaborated on research methodologies, right from the selection of the topic and doing a versatile research, exploring the unexplored, unexplored areas of research, finding the suggestions, recommendations, and those used by others for benefits of the society as well as the fraternity. So we have learned the ethical ways from your talk, and I hope all of us will be benefited by the ethical ways and moralities to be followed while doing any kind of research. Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightenment. Now I request
Thank you so much.
Wagmare sir to please introduce and welcome our guest, Janice Fernandez, madam from London. Over to you, Wagmare sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Janice Fernandez is available. Is this available, Janice Fernandez?
Yes, good morning, Kishore.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Janice. Nice
How
to
are
see
you, madam?
Same here. I'm good, thank you. Nice to see all the familiar and not so familiar faces, but
Yes,
lovely,
we
beautiful
are
morning
available.
here.
Yes, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
First, I would like to read the biodata of respected Dr. Janice Fernandez. Janice Fernandez, madam, is scientist and information library science professionals in the West London University since last 15 years. She have done so many research papers in the sense of minor research, major research project, minor research project, as well as so many international, national conferences, symposia, workshop have been attended, and deliver so many resource person lecture in India and abroad, as well as from our one day international conference. Sri Wagmare Brothers, so many conferences have been conducted and deliver the resource person knowledge sessions by the madam. We have very less time, therefore I would like to request madam, please start your second lecture of resource person. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Kishore. Good morning and a very warm hello to people from across the globe. Thank you, Abhijit, for that amazing sharing. You always sort of create a direction for us to think about and talk about and research about.
Thank you,
to the-
Janice. You are also one of them. Thank you so much for your inputs also as well.
Thanks so much. Thank you to the principal, staff, and students of Kalsekar College for planning and implementing this virtual conference. And a very special thank you to Dr. Kishore Wagmare and Wagmare Brothers for the opportunity for this knowledge interaction. Through my talk today, I aim to motivate you all to research more and write more about it. Let me begin by sharing my screen, and we shall have some talks as we go along. Yes, is that visible to you, my slide?
Yes, madam.
Thank you.
It is visible. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to start by just touching on the basics, just going to start from the beginning. Every time we think about research, let's just break down that word and say, we're going to search again. Sometimes I have students when they do a literature review and they say, I can't find anything new in it. But then I say, you need to read again with new eyes. You need to read, maybe you read the same journal article, but you look at it from different points of view. You might have initially just focused maybe on the methodology. At another time, you might read the same journal article and focus on the results. And at another time, you might just look at the authors and look at the other work that they've done in the field. At all times, just think that it is searching again. So why do we research? And I'm sure that there is a very positive reason for all of you to be here this morning, and the 70 plus participants will each have an individual need for the research. Out of the framework of having to gain a qualification or tick a box, let us remember that you gain some valuable skills. You are bettering your reading, your writing, your analyzing, your decision making, and you build a very scientific thought process. When I completed my doctorate, there were many things I learned along the way. And happy to say that I still use those bits in my current work environment. Because when I'm faced with a problem, I will not be reactive and rush to find a solution. I will step back and give myself at least a few minutes to look at the same bits and pieces that we do when you're doing research. So you will step back and look at what's the problem. You'll try and set some scope and limitations. You'll try and look at the right research methodology. And all this gets imbibed in you. So when you become a researcher, I think it is a qualification that you have for life. Sometimes when you say, I am a PhD or I am a doctorate, it's much better to say I am a researcher, because I think that is what you have. That's the qualification you've gained, the qualification of being a researcher. And this qualification is something for life. Just going to touch on the very basic research cycle. I'm sure you're all aware of it, but it always goes stepwise. Try, whether it is in your educational field or whether it is in your normal life, try to follow these steps. When you review the literature and formulate a hypothesis, remember you need to collect the data before you analyze it. Remember, you need to interpret the data before you come to a conclusion. Do we sometimes in life skip out some of these steps? Do we sometimes rush to form conclusions without really analyzing the situation or the data that is available to you? Just something, food for thought. I have created this slide because I know that currently in my work environment, I speak to a lot of PhD students every single day, a lot of postgraduates. And this is what I tell them. You may not write well every day, but you can always edit a bad page. You can't edit a blank page. Something I want you to take back and think on the days when you are really what you call uninspired and you can't put down anything. Remember that you need to write something in order to be able to edit it. I'm going to run through what your PhD actually needs in terms of the documentation, and then you will see that at the end, the synopsis is just a very short or abridged version of your whole thesis. So let me just run through the bits of the actual thesis. So the selection of the research topic, I'm sure all of you listening to this conversation today probably have a topic in mind, have probably done 25, 50, 75% of the work on that. But step back and think whether you like the topic, whether you are passionate about it. What do you believe in? Because at the end of the day, you live this. My research topic was based on quality, on accreditation, and it is something that I carry along with me. I am an authority on quality and accreditation because that was what my doctorate was about. However, at every point, I am associated with anything that speaks about quality, and I am very quick to talk about those things where I think the quality should matter and doesn't. So make sure that the topic of your research is something that you are passionate about. Along with that, I am talking about the title of the thesis. Now, these are two different things. The topic of your research and the title of your thesis should be very nicely married to each other or connected with each other, because the title is not a question, it is a statement. The title is what is searchable many years after you have finished your research. It is what goes into repositories, and it is what goes into might appear up on Google Scholar or any other online database. Put your title, word your title such that in the minimum number of words, you have got the maximum benefit out of it. Try and find put together the relationship between the variables. Check that it is grammatically correct. I have a number of my students who come to me, and this is what I do. We have information literacy workshops in class, and one of those is how to write the title correctly. So you start from a question, maybe many questions, try and remove words, try and put it together, and eventually it becomes a statement. Look at something which is current, which you're passionate about, but which is also the what will benefit society. I've put together a few things which I thought the field of medicine is doing a lot about. Is there an alternative to dialysis? Is there a cure for cancer? Is there an option for a faulty gene? How do we treat ADHD? These are questions, and then you will make these questions into statements. In the field of engineering, you might have things like, how can lighter materials create better aircrafts? How can we use feedback to increase network connectivity? How can we harness energy from newer resources? How can we decrease our carbon footprint and save our planet? Think about topics like these. In the field of agriculture, for example, how can stock forecasts help to reduce market uncertainty? The concept of genetically modified fruits and vegetables. Is it good, not good? Creating agriculturally supportive pesticides. I've just thrown together a number of titles, but the topic of your research should be such that it is something that you like and it is something that would benefit society. Just asking you to think of your own research topic, why you chose the topic, what have you set out to accomplish, and how will it benefit society? Okay, this is just a basic layout of your thesis. You probably might be in the second, third, fourth chapter of your own research. And I'm sure that each of you have probably followed the instructions of the organization where you are doing your research and your research supervisor. So most organizations will probably have a document that sets out the framework for your research. You would probably also be talking to your own research supervisor to find out how it flows. But this is what you basically need. You need like an introduction, you need literature review, research methodology, data analysis and interpretation, and of course your findings, your recommendations and conclusion, along with a large bibliography at the end. Being a librarian, I cannot but help talk about bibliography and references, and I would touch upon that somewhere towards the end of my talk this morning. Talking about a very basic introduction, a lot of researchers are sometimes stuck at the introduction. How many words? Do you think this is right? How do I write it? I probably think start with a few sentences and build on the introduction as you go along. Somewhere in the second, third chapter, when you write, you will find that there is something that could be added to the introduction, and then you keep moving it as you go along. Actually speaking, I think the introduction will finish, you will finish writing it when you finish the whole thesis. If you have a number of terms that need to be defined, ensure that you define that one. And I like to put together the objectives of the study in such a way that they are interconnected, that they flow from broad to specific. But then I always think the objectives keeps you inside the box of your research. When I talk to students, sometimes they are so passionate about their topic that they tend to go out of that box because they start talking about other things related and then probably not related. It's good to then look at your objectives and think, no, I've got to come back and stay inside this box because this is the scope of my study. Just a very brief thing about the introduction. Like I said earlier, it will be complete after your whole thesis is over, but you mold it slowly like a potter and clay. Start from general, go to specific, keep adding and removing, and it slowly evolves. Okay. You do an introduction for every chapter as well. You would do an introduction for the complete thesis, and you would also do an introduction for the synopsis. Now, they're all different, but it is still called as an introduction. And that's why I did want to mention it here. You now come to the statement of the problem, or what is it that you want to do? Basically, what you want to do is add to the universe of knowledge. To add to the universe of knowledge, you need to understand where that lacks. I like to tell students that think of the universe of knowledge as a large brick wall. a large brick wall, probably like a Great Wall of China, which has bricks. Every individual brick is one chunk of knowledge that some researcher might have done. In your literature review, what you are actually doing is looking at all these bricks and trying to find out a gap in the wall. When you find a gap in that wall, your knowledge or your research will be that brick that you're going to fix into that wall. I hope this analogy sounds visually the way you would think about it, because whenever you sometimes reach a dead end and you think, you know, what am I doing? Where am I? What's happening? Think whether your brick is going to fit into that wall, whether it is going to be consistent with the bricks on around it, and whether it is going to then add to this universe of knowledge. I like to quote Albert Einstein when he said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. Okay, let's now go to the objectives of the study. This is what I always like to focus on, because it shouldn't be too many, 4 or 5 statements. Identify your variables that you want to measure. What is it that I'm setting out to do? Am I trying to compare this and this? Am I trying to see the elements of this? Am I trying to figure out how best it is to work around this? All of those things. Begin with words like to identify, to study, to find out, to understand, to test, to suggest, to propose. And I think when you start writing your objectives like this, you would automatically think now that you are narrowing it down to the focus of the research. So sometimes when you think, oh, where am I going with this? Am I out of my scope? Come back and relook at the objectives of your study. You may or may not use a hypothesis, but it's nice to begin. For example, the sale of umbrellas goes up in the monsoon. This is a classic example I was always taught. Well, the sale of umbrellas goes up in the monsoon. True or false? You have your variables. You're going to try and get some data. You're going to maybe interview people. Maybe interview people on a rainy day who are using an umbrella, not using an umbrella, try and get some answers, put it together in a table, collate it and try and analyze it. You might then find out that the sale of umbrellas probably may or may not go up. Whatever result you get depends on the data that you have collected and analyzed. However, a hypothesis is nice because it is a starting point for an investigation, and then you can prove it true or false. Scope and limitations of the study. Obviously, your study cannot compare or cannot really compare a very global scale, isn't it? Unless you have the time, the money, and the resources to do that sort of a research study. You might want to limit it, say, to Europe. You might want to limit it to the UK. You might want to limit it to London. You might want to limit it to West London, where I live in. You might want to limit it to the University of West London, where I am based. So you slowly decide your scope and your limitations. Explain what the research will not cover. For example, I probably can't do research for, say, 50 years before. I might just consider the last 5 years. I might consider pre-COVID or post-COVID. I might look at only postgraduates or only undergraduates or something of that sort. So you sort of decide the scope and the limitations of your research. I think someone's audio is on.
Please continue.
Thank you. Thank you. The second chapter is the review of literature, and I know that a lot of people hesitate with regard to this because we're sometimes not sure about what we need to do. First and foremost, it is not a cut and paste from the abstract of a journal article. Secondly, you don't need to read a whole book to review the literature. Thirdly, make use of a lot of resources which are online today, available online, which allows you easier search and retrieval mechanisms. What you need to do is basically these 5 R's. So you read, you review, you recognize what has been done, what hasn't been done before, what are the gaps in the research. Remember my brick wall? Repackage. So when you repackage, put a few lines down just as a summary. Remember that when your document goes through a plagiarism software like Turnitin, if you have done a copy and paste, it will flag it up and it will highlight it in bright yellow as similarity 40% or 42%. Remember, you need to write in your own words. And you then reference that document with, I don't know, Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, RefWorks, any of these packages available. You might even probably just do an Excel sheet or maybe a Word document. Whatever method works for you, remember that you will reference as you go along. This is the basic setup of how you would do a literature review. So once you have selected your topic, and when I mean topic, this is not the topic of your dissertation, it is subtopics inside your dissertation that logically lead up to the main topic. So you might think probably an analysis of undergraduate study programs in the UK or in London, and then you would probably come down to smaller bits, setting your scope and your limitations. Whatever topic you select, define your search terms. Look for keywords. I cannot search everything. I can look just probably at 3 or 4 strong keywords. Search, find, and evaluate the resources. Don't use everything that you have found. We are all aware of this large concept of fake news, and I undertake a lot of workshops with my students to help them to evaluate what resources are authentic and what are not. Read and understand. Write down your individual analysis and then thread it all together as a literature review with a list of references at the end. So basically, literature review is using your reading in your writing. Just one example, and that's my cat who loves to sit with me in research. Look at it as an inverted triangle. At all times, look at the broad topic. I support the students of the London College of Music and Drama, besides other schools as well. But this is a classic example of how I would tell them to narrow down till you come to the topic of your research, starting from a very broad topic. So you might have at the top agriculture or medicine or engineering, and then you would slowly narrow down to it. This is the typical structure of a journal article. And it's just to remind you that you don't need to read the whole article. Read the abstract and read the findings and discussion at the end. Between the abstract and the findings and discussion, you should be able to understand whether you are going to use this for your research or not. That would save you a lot of time. What happens if I don't find enough information? this presentation is based on a lot of questions that my students ask me. So these are classic ones. I hope they would benefit you as well. If you find one good journal article, go to the list of references at the end of that article and read those articles. And it's all in the same area of research. So that was one tip. The second tip is, if you find, say, on Google Scholar, which is actually a citation tracking database, if you find one article which is relevant, you've seen this cited by option. We've probably gone through Google Scholar a number of times and not looked at this. If you look at this one, every article would have a cited by. So click on the cited by to read all the articles which are in the same related area of research. So you can actually read 407 articles on the same topic. Evaluating sources. So we have got a lot of information. Like I said, fake news, good information, not so good information. How would you evaluate it? Just remember these 5 points. How current is it? Is that website valid? When was it last updated? Is the information too basic or too advanced? Who is the author? Is he qualified or she qualified? How accurate is the information? Is it biased? Is it propaganda? Does it try to sell something or entertain you? Or is it knowledge in the purest sense? You now come to the research methodology, and a research methodology, logically, I would compare this to how I probably cook, because it's much like that. I would first think of what it is that I want to cook, what's the dish I'm planning to make. Then I would think of all the ingredients I would need. I would bring them all closer. Then I would look at the quantities of the ingredients. I would then look at what is the process of cooking. Obviously, you can't add oil at the end. You need to add the oil into the pan first. Obviously, you can't add the salt first. You add the salt closer to the end, but not at the end. That's basically, I think, what research methodology is all about. Explaining how it is done, what are the instruments and the procedure, but also based on that documentation, someone else can then undertake the same research. So it's basically a plan or a vehicle to go from point A to point B. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. And I think when you see newer things happening, a lot of it is to think what no one else has thought of before. Is there a shortcut? Is there a better way? Is there a cheaper way? Is there a more authentic way of doing the same things? We'll just touch upon this because there are many types of research methodologies. Two very basic types is qualitative and quantitative. And of course, you can always use the mixed methods. I think a lot of people focus on quantitative research, that is interviewing a lot of people, collecting data and analyzing it. However, we are now, especially in the West, moving a lot to qualitative data. That is, you might just have 4 people, but you are interviewing them and you are getting a more in-depth understanding of the whole process. So think about this. You might probably use the mixed methods. So you might, for example, get quantitative data from students, but you might interview the lecturers to get some qualitative data. It's both ways, but you might thus use a mixed methods. And I often like to use a mixed methods because that gives you a much better understanding of the whole problem in the first place. You now come to chapter 4, which is your analysis and interpretation. You might use some software package. You could just use Excel And I think on the internet today, there are so many free courses available. Make use of them. You can learn Excel better through some free courses. We have here what is called Future Learn or the Open University, where you have a lot of free online courses. LinkedIn Learning is another tool that I often use. So we all know Excel, but I think we probably just know the basic Excel. Maybe you might know something more about formula or something more about various aspects which will help you to use that tool in a better way. And of course, your findings, your suggestions, and your conclusion. You do not have to have lots and lots and lots of graphs. You might have a nice combination of maybe tables and some charts as well, but put it all together to your conclusion. I'm going to touch on referencing just a bit because this is something that is very essential and sometimes misunderstood. So basically what referencing is an in-text citation or inside your text acknowledging another author and an entry in the list of references or bibliography at the end of your document. I like to look at this as a name and address thing. So in your text, if you say, for example, Smith 2015 says that the sky is blue. In your list of references at the end, you will tell us more about the Smith. The Smith is the person who wrote a book called Colors of the Sky that was published by, say, Bloomsbury Publishing in 2015 in London. So think of it as a name and address thing. So your in-text citation helps someone to get a little bit of knowledge about what the person has said, whereas the references tell you more about the person itself. Just going to touch on some basic elements of a reference entry for books and journals and journal articles as well. So for books, you just have basic information of the author, the year of publication, the title, edition, place of publication, and the publisher. For journal articles, it remains the same, except that a journal has two titles. A journal is a collection of many articles. So a journal has two titles. One would be the title of the article inside the journal, and one would be the title of the journal itself. And you need to mention both. For example, here, How Universal is Beethoven is the title of the article, whereas Philosophy of Music Education Review is the title of the journal. 5 tips for easy referencing, and I say this to all researchers: do not leave referencing until the last minute. I know we sometimes like to copy those hyperlinks in the address bar, and then you have 5 pages of hyperlinks. If you sit down in the last 3 days before submission to try and untangle that mess, it's going to be really messy. So don't do that. Try doing the referencing and pasting them wherever it needs to go as you go along. For a smaller research article, you might look easy. For example, you have, say, 12 or 15 references. When you are talking about a PhD thesis and 300 plus references, this could get a bit messy. So you might lose track of your page number, or you might forget which web page you had opened, or you might accidentally close down all the tabs. So ensure that that does not happen. And some additional but important stuff that you also need to write. Remember your acknowledgements. Don't forget your supervisor. Remember your table of contents. Nowadays, you can create your table of contents as a very nice hyperlinked document. So if you refresh it, it all gets automatically sorted out as well. And of course, attach your questionnaire as an appendix at the end. Attach anything else you might need as separate appendix, maybe some images if you wanted to, or maybe some something else that goes with your document. So now that you know all about this, now understanding what a synopsis is very easy. Basically, the word synopsis comes from the Greek word, which means general view. So first and foremost, if you look at it, everything is short summary, brief statement, very condensed outline, and it should be written in such a way that if you read the synopsis, then there is no need to read the research thesis. Well, actually, you are pointing people in the area of your research thesis, but it's a very condensed form. The elements of a synopsis are the same as the elements of a thesis. So all that we touched upon earlier. Remember to put in the further scope of research, like your recommendations and the usefulness to society and academicians. Just talking about some basic things, because I do have students not considering these things. So maybe grammatical errors, language errors, page layout, margin. Make sure that your font is consistent throughout. Make sure that your document is right justified. I think along with the content of your research, the general look of your research should be presentable as well. I do stress upon this because I am a quality person, but I do, when I look at thesis, I like to look and say, have you considered, have you looked at all these bits and pieces as well? Doing research is 90% hard work, 10% results. Writing about research is 90% writing about results and 10% writing about how you do it. I like to use this one, but what I would like to motivate you all today to do is to start that bit. I know sometimes probably that's why doctorate takes long. It's not the time that you spend on the research. It's the time that you spend in between the research. And sometimes those gaps get too long. Cannot resist talking about this, just because at the end of all the research, you do need to present your results. And so I will probably sit through some of your presentations this morning, but remember, 6 words per line, 6 lines per slide is good. Think of your fonts, your colors, your spacing. Include visuals, graphs, and images, animation, and slide transition. You can learn more about PowerPoint online as well. But remember, less is more. Please do not copy your whole abstract on the first slide and your whole introduction on the second slide. No, that's not what a presentation is about. At every stage, remember, less is more. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to mirror the amazing world of research and to add value to the profession of librarianship. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Dear participants, do you having some question regarding Janice ma'am lecture? Dear participant, do you having some question regarding Janice ma'am lecture?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good morning, sir.
Yes, please continue.
It's not about the question, sir. It's not about the question. It's a compliment which I wanted to give to Ms. Janice. Her performance, her words, and her guidelines for the researchers. It's fantastic, sir.
Thank you so much. I am humbled indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, ma'am.
Madam, may I ask one question? I'm
Yeah,
Ashwini
sure.
Deshpande.
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, I just want to ask that bibliography when we write, no, then that time we write that hyperlink or whatever the address of website. But wherever we are using it, there also we have to use that, or at the end only we have to use that.
A link is only given in your list of references. Along with that, if you use, say, a Harvard style of referencing, you would say available at this link and the date that you accessed it. So accessed 25th May, 28th May 2023. The idea being that if I look at your a soft copy of your thesis, I should be able to click on your hyperlink and go to the document that you researched. That's the reason it is coming now, because obviously so much of our information is available online. So rather than just providing the author and the title, it's nice to provide a link so that the reader can go directly to your document.
And madam, date also to be mentioned at the last date when we have referred it.
Yes, the reason you mention the date is because it tells the reader or your assessor that the date that you read it, the information was available. Understanding how the electronic world works and understanding how documents are on one site today and then taken off the next day, it tells your assessor that when I accessed the document on 28th May 2023, this information was available on the internet.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good
You're
day.
welcome. Thanks.
Any more
I am-
questions?
I'm happy to drop my email address in the chat box, and please
I
feel
will share.
free to connect with
I will
me.
share with them. Thank you.
Yes.
Kalsekar sir, please vote of thank.
Thank you so much, madam, being there with us today. You have really enlightened us in research process, right from the searching of title and the right material to be collected in the form of data collection and various citation processes using Mendeley, Zotero, and notes and others, as well as in-text citation and the bibliography methods, till the presentation of your research. We are very much thankful to you, the entire college, principal sir, IQAC, and my organizing team is really indebted to you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Agmares.
Thank you, and all the very best to you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam, for supporting to Kalsekar College as well as for the event management company, Sri Wagner Brothers. Thank you, Janice Pandas, madam. After that, the PPT session will be started. All the dear participation, please ready with your PPT. I would like to announce the first name of that participants. Please wait. Is this available? Ashwini Deshpande? Ashwini Deshpande?
Yes, sir. I'm there, but I'm not presenting, sir.
Okay, okay. The next person is that? Prerna Singh. Is this available? Prerna Singh? Devanand Khupte. Is this available? Devanand Khupte? Alka Bahal? Alka Bahal? Ajinkya Deshpande? Ajinkya Deshpande? Dr. Jeet Chaudhary? Santosh Bhagwat from Solapur? Is this available? Santosh Bhagwat?
Yes, sir. But it is necessary.
You can just read your PPT or your paper front introduction and
I
conclusion.
have not paper, is only article
You
is
can narrate
available.
your orally also, no problem, about your paper.
Just 1 minute, sir.
Bhagwat sir,
Excuse me, sir. May I talk?
Sir,
are you?
I am ready, sir.
Please continue with your PPT or oral presentation.
Yes. Good morning, all of you. I am Santosh Bhagwat, research scholar, PhD research scholar, Punyashlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur, Library and Information Science subject. I am going to present my research article, name it Emerging Technological Advancement in Modern Academic Libraries, an overview. In this article, I mention various emerging technological ICT tools like an application of it in libraries. Present, I am going to present my abstract is here. What I am including, what are the content of my article is that. So, present paper highlights information regarding components of an ICT, 5 laws of library science in ICT environment, how the concept of library changed over the period of time due to the invention of printing press and ICT, an overview about various emerging technological advancement like library management software, Google Form, QR code, institutional repository, cloud computing, Internet of Things, all these things. So in my paper, 5 laws of library science in ICT environment, because the basic is as it is and how they change. Here I am mentioned. For example, books are for use, the traditional one, but in present era, the information or resources are for use. Every reader uses a book, then every reader uses information or resources. Every book its reader, then in ICT environment, it is like every information or reference source is user. Save the time of reader and staff, save the time of user and library professional. So emerging technological advancement with help of this one, any library, a modern academic library can manage their resources and providing valuable services to their end users. These are various technological advancement, like here I am going to only mention the names: library management software, library website. Presently, as compared to traditional one, any librarian can easily create their own website and give the valuable information to their end users. So library user groups on social media, for example, traditionally only the Facebook, WhatsApp, but presently you can with Telegram, you can share the minimum information to up to maximum participants. So this one for actually applicable. YouTube also one of the famous. You can create their library information related to library and share to your users. So library app now, any library which having a very good collection and having a status, they can leading to the forward stage, like to create their library app. Institutional repository is also there. Google Form, that is very simple and listed, can with help of Google Form you can create your library feedback, can get your membership information, can easily get to it. QR code also the one of the one facility.
instead of going to directly type your URL code of your website, you can through QR code you can provide each and every information to your user. For example, here is I am mentioned is that, for example, question paper. No need to send all the sets of question paper. Instead of them, you can create one QR code and through which share to your user, through which user you can get their information to this one. So just like cloud computing also is an Internet of Things. These are at evolving stage, Internet of Things recently, but now not. I am directly going to the conclusion point. So the library management software is useful for automating library housekeeping operations. The library website provide all kinds of library information regarding library notification, library holding, library services, and library facilities. To share common information about library activity to users, the library professional can create their own library user group on social media platform and share their information. The library can provide a library facility to its user community for finding all types of information regarding library at one place. Useful intellectual creation like thesis, research article, lectures, video of faculties, as well as research report, assignment, and notes of students makes available 24/7 hours to everyone through an institutional repository facility. Cloud computing is the best solution to maintain library resources on the cloud to overcome the problem like library space, lack of support from IT staff. IoT is the next version of internet through which object to human, and human to object communication is possible. After the invention of printing press, library development slowly progressed and rapid progress shown after the emergence of information communication technology. So with help of this, all above mentioned various emerging technological advancements useful for empowering present academic library functioning. Thank you so much for patiently listening this one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So
The
my
next.
presentation. Oh yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The next participant's PPT presentation name is from Africa. Is this Abu Dhabi, madam? Available from Africa, Nigeria. Sorry, Nigeria. Abu Dhabi, madam. Professor Uche Grace Emetoron. Uche Grace Emetoron. Department of Education, Administration of Planning, Faculty of Education, Abia State University, Uturu, Nigeria. The next, Devanand Baban Khupte. Devanand Baban Khupte. Serial number 3, again, Manoj Dongardive. Is this available? Manoj Dongardive. Serial number 4, Rathod sir, RK Rathod sir, Knight College, Kolhapur. Serial number 5, Ajinkya Sudhir Deshpande. Serial number 6, Santosh Bhagwat. It is done. Okay. Serial number 7, Balaji Vitthal Rao Dingole. Serial number 8, Gaurav Kumar Govardhan Thakre.
Yes, sir.
Thakre sir, please continue with your PPT.
ठीक है sir.
Do you have PPT with you?
नाही sir, PDF आहे पेपरची.
You can directly oral presentation. Do not worry about that.
Okay, ठीक आहे sir.
If you do not have the PPT, you can proceed with your oral presentation also.
Okay, sir. नमस्कार सर्वांना. मी गौरव गोवर्धनराव ठाकरे, संत गाडगेबाबा अमरावती विद्यापीठ येथील एक संशोधक विद्यार्थी आहे आणि PhD चा विद्यार्थी असून
ठाकरे सर आवाज येत नाहीये.
तर या तर या संशोधनाची काही उद्दिष्टे ठरवण्यात आलेली होती. तर त्या संशोधनामध्ये प्राथमिक स्तरावरील अभ्यासक्रमाचा आढावा घेणे, त्याचबरोबर प्राथमिक स्तरावरील विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी अभ्यासक्रम आधारित कोरकू मराठी भाषिक शब्दकोश विकसित करणे, त्याचबरोबर प्राथमिक स्तरावरील अभ्यासक्रम आधारित कोरकू मराठी शब्दकोशाचा वापर करून अध्यापन करणे आणि विकसित केलेल्या कोरकू मराठी भाषिक शब्दकोशाद्वारे विद्यार्थ्यांच्या प्राप्तांकाची परिणामकारकता तपासणे अशी ही संशोधनाची उद्दिष्टे होती. आणि या संशोधनाची गरज ही आहे की आदिवासी भागातील विद्यार्थ्यांना जे बोली भाषेच्या समस्या निर्माण होतात किंवा अभ्यासाच्या अडचणी निर्माण होतात त्या सोडवण्यासाठी त्यांना आपण त्यांच्या बोलीभाषेतून जे शब्दकोश विकसित करणार आहे त्या शब्दकोशाद्वारे त्या विद्यार्थ्यांना कोरकू आणि मराठी या दोन्ही शब्दकोशाची माहिती विद्यार्थ्यांना होईल. त्यातून त्यांच्या ज्या असणाऱ्या वाचन लेखन भाषिक ज्या क्षमता आहेत त्या क्षमता विकसित होण्यासाठी या संशोधन विषयाची गरज महत्वपूर्ण ठरू शकते. या संशोधन विषयाचे महत्व म्हणजेच हा जो संशोधन विषय आहे या संशोधनाचा शिक्षकांना, विद्यार्थ्यांना, त्याचबरोबर मुख्याध्यापकांना आणि पालकांना सुद्धा या संशोधन विषयाचा मोठ्या प्रमाणात उपयोग होऊ शकतो. आणि हा भाषिक शब्दकोश असल्यामुळे विद्यार्थ्यांना ज्या अध्ययनामध्ये अडचणी निर्माण होतात त्या अडचणी दूर करण्यासाठी सुद्धा याचा उपयोग होऊ शकतो. तसेच या संशोधनामध्ये आपण पाहतो की जे बोलीभाषिक ज्या समस्या आहेत त्या समस्या दूर करण्यासाठी विद्यार्थ्यांना डायरेक्टली म्हणजे मराठी भाषेतून अध्यापन केल्यामुळे त्यांना भाषेतील शब्द किंवा वाक्य हे लक्षात येत नाही. तर तसे जर त्यांना त्यांच्या बोलीभाषेतून त्यांना शिकवण्याचा प्रयत्न केला तर निश्चितच ते विद्यार्थी अध्ययन आणि अध्यापन प्रक्रियेमध्ये
Will you share the feedback link, sir, for certificate? Please update.
ठीक आहे.
Certificate will be sent to your email address.
सर.
So please continue with your presentation.
आणि सर या संशोधनासाठी एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुपची एक निवड करण्यात आली होती. 60 विद्यार्थ्यांचा ग्रुप घेण्यात आला होता. त्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी प्री टेस्ट आणि पोस्ट टेस्ट सिंगल ग्रुप डिझाईन मध्ये हा एक्सपेरिमेंट राबवण्यात आलेला होता. विद्यार्थ्यांना टीचिंग करून त्यांना म्हणजे चाचणीद्वारे त्यांच्याकडून पूर्व चाचणी आणि उत्तर चाचणी सोडून घेतल्यानंतर मार्काच्या आधारे संकलित माहितीचे अर्थनिर्वचन आणि विश्लेषण करण्यात आलेले होते. त्यानंतर त्या माहितीच्या आधारे काही निष्कर्ष काढण्यात आले. तर त्या निष्कर्षावरून लक्षात येते की विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी जी तयार करण्यात आलेली भाषिक शब्दकोश आहे त्यामुळे विद्यार्थ्यांच्या प्राप्तांकात आपल्याला सार्थक फरक दिसून येतो. त्याचबरोबर विद्यार्थ्यांना मराठी शब्द समजण्यास सुद्धा सोपे होते आणि त्यांची अभ्यासातील अभिरुची सुद्धा त्यांना निर्माण होते. त्याचबरोबर विद्यार्थ्यांच्या ज्या भाषिक क्षमता आहेत त्या भाषिक क्षमता सुद्धा विकसित होऊ शकतात. त्याचबरोबर या कोरकू मराठी भाषिक शब्दकोशाचा शिक्षकांसाठी सुद्धा महत्वाचा उपयुक्त हा ठरू शकतो. सर.
यस सर.
हाँ सर.
हो गया आपका?
हाँ हो गया सर.
धन्यवाद सर. The next presenter is serial number 9, Ashwini Meghnath Lele. Ashwini Lele. Serial number 8, Muzaffar Iqbal Thakur, Maharashtra College. Is this available? Muzaffar Iqbal Thakur.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, available.
Sir, please continue with your PPT. You can do the oral presentation also.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have a PPT made.
Please upload your PPT.
Yes, sir. Let's wait. Sir, PPT is not getting upload.
You can do the oral presentation.
I'll do oral presentation.
No problem.
I'll
Please
just start PPT on my desktop and I'll start, sir. Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Mazhar Thakur. I would be presenting on a study on problems faced by vernacular medium students as against English medium students. Now, to start with this research, I have found out that many students who come from Hindi medium, Marathi medium, Telugu, Kannada medium, and even Urdu medium, when they join degree college, they face a lot of problems. Basic problem that they face is they cannot understand and comprehend English as a first language. So I would like to put across this in this research that medium of instruction plays a significant role in shaping students' academic career. In India, English is considered as language of opportunities. That's the reason why most of the students pick up English as their medium of instruction. However, there's still large number of students staying in multiple states in deepest part of India, unable to get English medium education. And when they reach to degree colleges, they face a lot of problems. Basic objective of research was to understand problem faced by them, to get an insight into the mental makeup of vernacular medium students. At the same time, I also wanted to get some groundbreaking suggestions to improve the status quo. When I started the research, I got 58 responses, out of which large number of students were from Marathi, Hindi and Urdu medium. About 24% of them were saying that it is impossible to break the barrier of English language. About half of them said that they feel inferior. They have got inferiority complex when they when they sit with English medium students. 43% believe that teaching methods of college is not making any difference to them. What is important for them is they want a good mentoring done from the faculties who teach those subjects. About 37% of them feel that there is a peer pressure on them because of the fact that they are not from English medium. Hindi medium students are confident public speakers, but in Hindi language, but not in Urdu language. Maximum of vernacular medium students have got abilities, leadership abilities. 51% of them says that having a English speaking classes in college would help them. At the same time, 30% of them were said that they require their concepts to be explained in vernacular medium. 25% said that mentoring is very important. The conclusion that I want to make here is that one thing is for sure, these students who come from vernacular background do carry inferiority complex. But at the same time, there are good number of examples of leaders who have come from vernacular medium have done great things. They have reached heights of corporate ladder. If the student works hard, gives some time, they can master any language in no time. The improvements that students said where they require extra classes of English language in the college where they are, they want some sort of explanation in their mother tongue. At the same time, these students want some form of mentoring from their faculties. Towards the end, I would like to end my presentation saying that it does not matter where you have come. It does not matter from where have you come. What actually matters is who you are. With this, I end my presentation. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Serial number 11, Shraddha Suresh Wawal. Shraddha Suresh Wawal. Is this available, Shraddha? Serial number 12, Misbaha Hamid Sheikh. Misbaha Hamid Sheikh. Available, Misbaha Hamid Sheikh. Dr. Jeet. Shobna Jeet. Is this available, Dr. Shobna Jeet? Dr. Shobna Jeet. Serial number 13, Surjit Kaur. Surjit Kaur. Serial number 14, Alka Bahal. Alka Bahal. Serial number 15, Asha Patil. Asha Patil. Serial number 16, Kalaivani Karthikeyan from Chennai. Kalaivani Karthikeyan. Nikhil Manohar Rao Deshmukh. Nikhil Manohar Rao Deshmukh. Is this available? Jinat Surve. Jinat Surve. Dr. Shobna Jeet. Who want to do the presentation? Who are available?
Sir, I am available.
Baiju sir, please continue.
Okay.
With your PPT.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon to all of you.
Good
My
afternoon,
topic
sir.
is fostering a study on technology in teacher education program in the 21st century education system. Introduction. The teacher education program update with vital for preparing future teachers for the challenges of 21st century. The updated classroom facilities as an easier transition from tradition to innovative pedagogical practice for tomorrow's teachers. A high quality modern education is within each reach of most people in today's society. It is a must for teachers. This has led to a greater student participation in today's school. Therefore, it is effective teaching aid. Schools' curriculum should be updated to reflect the rapidity of modern society. It is possible to exaggerate the importance of technology in classroom. Teachers today need to use a toolbox of techniques in the school. The current teacher education programs, information and technology offer such a tool. The usage of technology in teacher education. Teachers in the 21st century must equip technology to especially risk takers, collaborators, and communities and investors if they want their students to succeed in the world economy. Therefore, there will be critical shortage of teachers qualified to instruct in today's technologically advanced classroom if graduates need more skill to use technology successfully. Focusing on teacher education program with the inherent capacity to educate pre-service teachers to deploy education technology successfully need to be addressed the shift in the policy on incorporating technological preparation in teacher education program. Teacher education, teacher preparation and universal design for learning. Universal design for learning, UDL, is a study strategy for creating education material concerning students' varied learning styles. The UDL can be performed without technological enhanced assistance. It is significantly more straightforward and more time efficient when such aids are made available for teacher education program. Overachieving UDL trends are found on the regulatory effects, making instruction more transparent and straightforward. Three fundamental principles are highlighted is emphasis on rudimentancy. Might lead to its abandonments.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Second is the assistive technology in teacher education program. Assistive technology can help students with disability overcome many of the academic challenges they face. Teachers who work with the students to utilize AT should receive initial and ongoing training on the issue. The study will assign how to best use of assistive technology in the curriculum of school teacher training courses. Numerous strategies and initiatives were adapted throughout the program. Each affects teachers' ability to include assistive technology training and evaluation. Information communication and technology in teacher education program. Technology has permeated nearly every aspect of modern education, and information population is essential to develop of new technology. Even in the earliest grades, students will exposed to most to update information in energy, ecology, communication, and other fields. While technology has growing role in classroom, therefore, still need to be significant between goals and actual classroom practice. Now it is time for teacher educators to improve their learning capacity. The children will learn invaluable and study in helps will help them to immensely when taking required curriculum most challenging part. Given the challenges introduced by information communication technology to the education system, teacher education program must evolve to meet the needs of today's classroom. Education technology and teacher education program. The study found that teacher education program were the main reason for the low rate of technology adoption in the school. It must be one of the wonder if the graduates from teacher education program are prepared to teach the 21st century technologies. The range, depth, and relevance of issues covered by almost 90% of teacher education for hard parts of significantly focusing on integrating technology to support education spreads. Conclusion, the field of teacher education program tend to be highly respected. He hopes if the students more we improved as a teacher, every educator need to be updated on the current studies and procedures. It aids to teacher to deliver more efficient classroom instruction. Successful educators of the future will be those who embrace new methods of instruction and become experts in them. This is why we focus on training teachers on tomorrow's integrate innovative resources and classrooms. The rapid development of our education system can be attributed in the parts of to this. Teachers are only one who can fully ensure their pupils will succeed in the current world. So it is essential that we must use modern instruction to educate them. Education resources have been around for us as long as there have been teachers and people they teach. Proper use of technology in the classroom improves not just students' chance of succeed, but also their overall satisfaction with school. The most educational tools are to no match for the outstanding educator who can think beyond the box. In today's highly linked with the culture, using ICTs in the classroom, not a luxury, but a need. It is impressive that India is taking part in the forward-thinking initiative to expand access to knowledge. Technology has had a profound effect on everyday living in India. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Serial number 1918, Dr. Shobha Jit from JNU.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Who's
Shraddha Vawar here.
I was calling you, Shraddha Vawar.
Please
prepare with you, the PPT with you? Shraddha Vawar?
Huh.
Kindly upload your PPT and start your presentation.
Sir, actually, I am not able to present.
Can you do the oral presentation?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Yes. Hello, good afternoon, all. My name is Shraddha Vawar, research scholar, SNDT Women's University, Pune. My topic name is the socio-economic performance of women entrepreneurs in various sectors of business units in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. So this is my paper. Firstly, introduction. Women entrepreneurs must overcome numerous obstacles to become successful business owners, and these obstacles typically vary from one type of enterprise to another. So, systematic and scientific research of the challenges affecting women entrepreneurs in various business units is necessary to develop a workable solution to the complex, diverse, gender-specific problems that they encounter. So it is important to create an action plan and suitable techniques for stimulating support and maintaining their efforts in the proper direction in order to maximize their potential and ensure continued growth and development. So because women entrepreneurs faced industry-related problems such as marketing, financial, etc. So researcher formulated the following objective. First one is to study the socio-economic profile of women entrepreneurs in Ratnagiri district. Second one is to identify the factors influencing the performance of women entrepreneurs. Third one is to compare the performance of women entrepreneurs in various sectors of business, that is manufacturing, trading, and service. And last one is to study the socio-economic performance, to study the socio-economic, financial, production, and marketing problem of women entrepreneurs. The methodology is Ratnagiri district is predominantly an agricultural region. Recent infrastructure development in the district and open the door for rapid industrial growth. Selection of respondents, the researcher selected 300 women entrepreneurs selected by stratified random samples have been used to determine the sample selection, that is Dapoli, Khed and Mandangad. So the last one is after the data analysis, researcher put the finding and suggestions. First one is the majority of the 51 to 50, over 89% of women entrepreneurs started their business on their own. The majority of business run by women are typically small. In the service sector, 21.6% of women entrepreneurs were ignorant of the government-sponsored program. A study of borrowing patterns showed that 19.6% of the manufacturing sector's loan came from banks. Next one is women entrepreneurs needed training in variety of areas, lack of transportation, infrastructure, labor issues, and market issues in the all sir. The revolution that has the biggest revolution, economic dependence, women socially liberalization, raise the social status. Everyone now understands that women's increased economic productivity will lessen their dependence and open the door to higher status. So the major goal of the useful study will be achieved if some of the hurdles, stumbling blocks, and curve faced by women entrepreneurs in general were addressed by the bureaucracy, the government, and the many other authorities concerned with the suggestion made as the result of this in-depth study. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Serial number 18, Shobha Jit, JNU, Delhi. Dr. Shobhana Jit. Is this available, Dr. Shobhana Jit? Serial number 19, Dr. Sulakshana Mane.
Yes, I'm available. I'm
SMT
Dr.
University,
Shobhana
Juhu,
Ji.
Mumbai. Please come,
Hello.
upload your PPT.
Yes, I'm available, Professor Kishore.
Would you like to oral or PPT?
Yes, please share my PPT.
Yes, upload your PPT. I have just given the authority to upload.
Yes, I think I have shared on over the mail my PPT.
No. At present, you have to upload your PPT. I have given the access. Click
All
on,
right.
first you have to open your PPT, then click on share button. In that share button, then appear desktop. In that desktop, you will see your PPT. Double click on that and share.
All right. Then, is it possible you can give the chance to the other person, other participants, by the time I'll log in through my laptop, right? That's easy for me because in my laptop, I do have my PPT and I'll share the screen. I can wait for 10 more minutes, right?
No problem. Serial
Thank
number
you, sir.
20, Sutherian. Serial number 21, again Sutherian. Serial number 22, Upendra Kumar. Upendra Kumar. Serial number 23, Veena Lega. Veena Lega. Serial number 25, Vinay Ashok Patil. Vinay Ashok Patil. Serial number 26, Anuradha Selamu. Okay, who want to do the PPT presentation? Dear participants, who want to do the PPT presentation?
Roll number diya hua kya?
Sir, may I do?
Please continue, because of whatever I am calling the name of that person is not available. Therefore, our time is being destroyed. We want the quality to work. Do you want to
Hello.
present your PPT? Please continue.
I'm Dr. Zina Surve. Sir, am I audible?
You are audible. Please open your video. Upload your PPT.
Just yes, sir.
Sulakshana Mane, get ready after this. The share technique is open your PPT. Yeah, it is visible. Please continue.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, please continue.
Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all.
My name is Zinat Surve, Zinat Parveen Ramjan Ali Surve, Assistant Professor from Maharashtra College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mumbai 8. My topic is the effect of aloe vera, aloe barbadensis on the choriolentin membrane of chick embryo. Abstract. Aloe vera is also known as the aloe barbadensis. This is the scientific name. This comes from the family perennial Seleucine in the lilac family, and it is renowned for its medicinal properties. Aloe vera is utilized as a traditional medicine, and it was mentioned by the author, that is Etherton 1998, and it was thought to be have a wound and burn healing properties, as well as its anti-inflammatory and immunomodulatory properties. Aloe vera is used in numerous commercial goods due to its therapeutic property. It has not been established now as an extract component part and overall impact related. However, it is employed as a gel extract. To develop aloe vera as a pharmaceutical sources, a more thoughtful study has to be done as a biological action of this necessary. Here we extracted aloe vera gel and induced in the chick embryo choriolentin membrane, CAMSA. Aloe vera gel extract was administered to 8-day-old chick embryo through the window on the choriolentin membrane. The parallel control was maintained where the embryo received phosphate buffered saline, which is called as a PBS of pH 7.4. On the day 10, the incubation window was opened to reveal the progressive blood vessel pattern formation on the camp. This was my abstract. The actual material and method used over here for this paper is after the day 2, when the chick embryo egg has brought it, on the day 2 incubation, the egg were sealed for the window preparation. The egg were taken one by one and the window was prepared in a laminar floor under the aseptic condition. A square window is opened carefully in the shell. The candled egg which were being showed the cell division and the position of the blastoderm are suitable for the window preparation to kept in a proper position without changing it in angle periodic containing sterilized cotton. Then the window were prepared carefully in the shell with the help of the sterilized instrument. From this egg window, 2 or 3 ml of albumins were removed with the help of sterilized micropipette. This will be help in the detach of the development of the choriolentin membrane from the shell. Immediately after removing the albumin, the egg window were sealed with the glass cover slide of the same dimension by using the cellophane tape, and the egg returned to the incubator. On the day 10th of incubation, the egg were treated with the test component and with the PBS as a control. The portion of the egg shell above the air space removed after a drop of water placed on it shell membrane to avoid the capillary bleeding. And it's followed by the scientist method. The cam was exposed carefully using the sterilized forceps and aqueous solution of test compound. My test compound was aloe vera, were applied on the choriolentin membrane and then washed off with the sterilized water after 20 seconds. What conclusion I got from this? Aloe vera, the graph you can see over here, this is my result, what I got it. And the conclusion is that aloe vera gel extract has beneficial effect in wound healing as it suggested the compound of aloe vera and their biological activity compound having healing properties and anti-inflammatory and the immunomodulation effect on the model animal, that is my chick embryo. This was very beneficial for the pharmaceutical companies, which can be go for it for the gel extract, which I had used here as a whole gel. The treatment also registered most significant increase in the 9 subgroup. Here I had taken the 9 subgroup. So with the trypan blue absorption, the significant increase in trypan blue absorption may be related to the damage caused of the CM after the treatment. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your really nice presentation. Dr. Shobnajit, are you ready?
Yes, yes, Professor Kishore, I'm ready.
Yes. Kindly remove your PPT. Who was here? Kindly remove the PPT.
Shall I try to share my screen by the time?
Other screen is also sharing here, na? The last person.
Yeah,
What is the name of the last person?
I don't remember.
Last person name is.
Ma'am, can you please put your screen off from here?
Can you upload, Shobhajit madam?
Yes, sir. I think I can share, right? Is it visible? Is my PPT visible?
No, because of last person is not removed.
Yeah, that's the reason I can't share. Yes, no, not now. Oh, yes, it's removed.
Can you share?
Yes.
Please continue.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Make it big.
Yes, sure. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and many congratulations to the organizing team for this wonderful organization of the seminar. So my presentation for topic of my presentation is transgender status in India. In the paper, I have dealt with the number one, first of all, the transgender status in India. While we are looking towards the societal interpretation of this community. Second, I have seen and I have surveyed what law are available for the protection of this community. Likewise, we have a constitutional provision, Article 14, 15, 21, related to the protection of citizen as a whole in Indian Constitution. And third, I have surveyed and I have critically analyzes the Transgender Protection of Rights Act 2019. Fourth, what are the lacunas in that act? Then bottleneck of the acts. And finally, what are the way forwards? So as Professor Kishore has instructed me to be brief, I'm going to be very brief. So as far as the definition of this transgender word is concerned, we all are well versed with the terminology. In one way or other, we have seen them and we have some image in our mind related to those this community, right? So objective, I have already discussed that my objective is to critically analyze the recent Transgender Protection Rights Act 2019. So number one rights which are related to this third community are there in constitutional law of India, whereby we are talking about Article 14, right to equality. And right to equality means that this right is available to all the citizens of India, irrespective of their religion, race, castes, and any other thing. So if the third community is not included in this terminology or under this article, then the objective of this article is not completed. Article 21. When I see the Transgender Act 2019, it again that what type of people can be included in this definition. There are so many landmark judgment in this where the terminology is time and again defined. But as far as this act is concerned, this act is there to provide the prohibition against discrimination in the matter of in specific their employment, transgenders employment, their education and their health. In the terminal, in this term, the act is very good in nature, whereby they are providing that they are providing specific provision that that this third community is eligible to get jobs and to get employment in any sector. Right now, nowadays you can see that the third community not only is contesting in MLAs and MPs election, but at the same time they are on the position in police administration and another and so many other positions also. As far as education is concerned, related to their education, government is going to provide the inclusive education. That is again an agenda of Right to Free Compulsory Education Act 2019 also, whereby we are talking about inclusive education. So my point is that unless and until we are including the third community, the inclusivity word is not at all interpreted in toto. So then certificate of identity for a transgender person. So a transgender person may make an application to the district magistrate for certificate of identity indicating the gender as transgender, right? So whereby we are writing male, female, there shall be a column for, there is a column for transgender or third community also. So the point is a revised certificate may be obtained only if the individual undergoes any surgery or any change in gender, either male or female. Then the provision and the privileges which were available to that the concerned person shall be that there shall be a provision to remove that person from that categories. So apart from education, health, and their employment, I could see there are few remaining bottlenecks in this act, and those bottlenecks are number one, problem of nomenclature. So a more comprehensive term like we have LGBTQ, right, and would have been more appropriate. That terminology is more appropriate. So we may have a more appropriate terminology for this third gender community. Then second, again, the spirit of self-perceived identity. The bill states that this act states that a person will be recognized as transgender on the basis of certificates of identity issued by a district magistrate. In such case, it is unclear what the term self-perceived gender identity entails and how it will be enforced. So there is no proper interpretation in the given act by the government of India. Then no review mechanism, right? So transgender person is denied. Let's say if any transgender person is denied to be given a certificate of identity, this act is not providing any particular mechanism for that thing or for reviewing his or her application, which has been decided by the district magistrate. Then there is a big ambiguity on their rights. Currently, several criminal and civil laws recognizing two categories, male and female, right? But now this act is not recognizing this third gender. So my point is, whereby we are writing that this act is applicable on man and woman, male and female both, this sentence and the proper act is not representing that word third gender. Then apart from that, sex selective reassignment surgeries. So nowadays, there are some activists who are continuously criticizing this provision, as according to them, it is defying the order of nature and encouraging forceful or non-consensual sex reassignment surgeries. But at the same time, if medical facilities are so advanced, so this shall be legalized by the government of India. So taking forward these type of lacuna in the protection in this Transgender Rights and Protection Act 2019, I have find out few way forward to it. That is number one. Likewise, Tamil Nadu state had established a transgender welfare board in 2008. So the government of India, by taking the note of lacunas and deficit in this act, can take a reference from the working of Transgender Welfare Board 2008. I have in detail explained the work which has been done by this welfare board. Then Kerala brought the state policy for transgenders in Kerala 2015. Odisha is again the first state to give transgender people social welfare benefits. Then Andhra Pradesh also announced pension scheme for the transgender community. So apart from this state individual effort, the socio-economic support by the government of India through the application of this Transgender Right Protection and Right Act 2019 shall be given, right? So the states shall provide them opportunities in social and economic activities by encouraging their incorporation in government initiatives, bringing reservation for them in education and employment, and then grassroots support. So when I say grassroots support, then more than government initiative or societal interpretation and societal approach towards the third gender, I'm taking into consideration that that shall be start from the grassroots level. Then child protection laws, right? So we do have a child protection laws. We have some specific section in Indian Penal Code related to child offences and protection of child. But at the same time, the child who belong to this community is not included under that child protection laws. Then sensitization is most important part of this Transgender Rights and Protection Act. So the government is not talking about the awareness among this transgender community. So I think like this international conference is organized such type of conferences whereby we shall talk about the LGBT community, and we shall talk about the third gender community and their rights, and let's aware the people about their rights and about the problems which they are facing to come at the same platform where we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice PPT presentation. The next person name is serial number is done. Vinaya. Thank you. Vinaya Ashok Patil, Ashok Shahane, Bharat Kumar, Bishay Umesh. Who want to do the presentation? Dear participants, who want to do PPT presentation?
Hello, sir.
Name, please.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Okay, Nawab madam.
Yeah. Shall I?
Please continue. Whether oral, PPT.
Give me 2 minutes, so that means I will upload my because I am in on mail only, sir. So I will forward it. I'll bring it in my mobile.
You can do oral presentation. Do not worry about that.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just a minute. Hello.
Please continue.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Very good afternoon, one and all. So I'm going to today actually means this conference is something which I was waiting so long, means since from last 2 months, that I had a wish 30 years before when I lost my father. when my father was alive, at that time I used to say that because my father was a hero personality for me and for every children there. So today I just want to dedicate it for him, because he was a smoker and means, right, we lost him. And if any of the child lost father at an early stage, so they know that means what do they suffer and what, right, the family effect and all that. So my research is on today unethical practices of cigarette company. So just I hope that means I can convey those who are smoker, young generation, especially today in most of the colleges, students and all that means, right, what they just think about it, that is a lifestyle or something, means it gives a immense pleasure, something else means at that age and all. So I just want to convey through this PPT and through this research conference that cigarette smoking or any of the addict is not good for their health and not good for their life. That is something, it is up to the mark and it is limit, it's good that, but to cross something over limit, definitely there are something means, right, various problems and all that. So I shall begin with my PPT and all that. So first of all, I would like to say that my PPT is being carried out on unethical practices of cigarette companies and all that. You must be knowing that. So and dear all my participants and various other things, that more than means 18, that is 5.6 million of people die of lungs cancer and by heart attack because of cigarette smoking. The scenario is very painful. When we talk about means nicotine addictions and all that, the young generation are being more prolonged towards this. We need to stop, we need to control and all that. So that is, and more of the revenue, it comes to our Indian, that is means, right, through GST. I'm not against of any of the company, but I want to say that ITC is having each of all, because myself, I am a rural marketing professors and all that. But one way he is giving charity, on other way, what he is doing, he's generating revenue from means cigarette. That is something unethical. So government of India, no doubt, they had come with various, they tax too much and all that. But one thing I will say, that if it is completely banned, not only cigarette, but also all those things which really affect to the family and life and all that. So now I would like to say that smoking and various, it has been n number of means, right, today tuberculosis or various heart attack problem, this all thing else means, right, the people they die by lungs cancer, by various other issues and all that, just because of smoking, just because of means, right, addict of tobacco or various other things that it is. Now the next, my research is being carried out means from Mumra and Kausa itself area. 25 family means I had come across, and 50 cigarette smoker. I individually means, right, I had a word with them, and I tried to find out means what the reason, why they need, why, how come they are become to this addict, and how come they are being a smoker and all that. The foremost thing it was, my questionnaire is that about it, that what age and gender, basically 18 to 15 years, the starting of cigarette age, it gives means by when a child steps to 8th standard and 9th standard, especially in school and all that. So from there only means, right, the changing something, doing something new or different and all that. If suppose the attention is not been there from their family or something else means, right, they are being neglected or something else, so they prolong towards that also. And then the another thing is that what age that is, and what make you to start smoking. Maybe your friend circle, maybe means, right, from the family, because father used to smoke, forefather used to smoke, so definitely the son will also smoke. And sometimes what happen, usually the family is good, but what happen, we learn from the society, we learn means, right, in which environment or in which circle we are being, that is also. And the next, how many cigarettes do you smoke, that is means, right, that is some people, they only smoke just for that their health or something else. If they don't means, right, that is also because the doctor has said that they say. And some of them just because they feel pleasure and it's a lifestyle or something else, and someone they just have stress or something else they need to complete or dissolve. Myself, I would like to share. My father was a mechanical engineer, and he used to have projects and various under his team, and he has to complete it if the task of the project was not. So he was an addict of tea, and more every often half an hour something else he used to give order whenever he was there at home, and smoking, and we used to bring smoke. So that I knew it, and means right, I just want to stop this all. But one thing I would like to say that my brother, he's not a smoker anymore. That's good that my mother has been stopped with that. So this is all thing else now. This thing has been, and most of that the family, they had lost their life of their head of the member, or means right, young generation are being affected and all that, means right, just because of the cigarette and all that. But still we had seen, apart from that, the government, though they had means imposes tax or this all thing else, but still smoking has not been stopped. It's going on day by day increasing. So from this research, I would like to say that means right, whatever my finding and conclusion and suggestion, I just say that finding is that is, see, object is that to stop from the dreadful whatever this is going on, we need to control. And through social media, no doubt, Rahul Dravid, various other sports personalities, celebrities, they are coming forward, and means right, they are doing a good social cause and all that. Even we common people, we should also come forward, and even those we are in teaching and all that, we need to means right, if we see someone else, so definitely we need to keep something means right, a video that is means picture, something else in seminar and all that, means right, in hall and all that, and we need to show them that for the young generation, right, like that, those who are moving towards such dreadful and all that things. So we need to stop, and that is my object. And limitation is that just only my research was being carried out from Kausa and Mumra. That's why means right, I could not be able to cover a large and all that, and hardly 50 smokers was there and 25 families I had come across. And finding was that whatever the tax policy is there, but still unethically is going on. We cannot stop, right, like that. So we need to come out of, and lots of means today also means right, in hospitals and various people, they die by lung cancers, they die by means right, tuberculosis, respiratory and various other things just because of smoking and all. Conclusion is what my, that is means right, most of the children, that is teenagers and all, they are moving, and also whatever the death causes is there due to heart attack and this all thing else, and the revenue what generate to our India, GST or this all thing else income, that is from means right, through all that, that is means right, we get it from cigarette revenue and all. And another thing that is all about it, this was all my presentation. So anything else, any would ask me any of the questions, so I'm ready, sir. So I stay nearby masjid, so that's why. Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you for your nice presentation with your own experiences, which is incorporated in your article and your PPT. Thank you, Nawab madam. Thank you. Who want to do the next presentation?
Thank you, sir.
Who want to do the next presentation? Dear participants, who want to do the next presentation?
Meri bari chal rahi.
Name, please, name. कोणी प्रेझेंटर आहे का? पीपीटी प्रेझेंट करायला इच्छुक आहात का कोणी? Dear participants, do you want to present your PPT? Who are remaining? Dear participants, do you want to present your PPT?
Hello, sir. I want to present.
Sadavarsi madam, please continue. Upload your PPT.
Okay, sir.
The technique for uploading, the process for uploading PPT, open your PPT, click on share button. When the window will be open, appear in front of you, that time your PPT
I want to present by oral.
orally, no problem. Please continue.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hello, good afternoon to all of you. This is Sadavasi from Integral University. And today I'm going to present the research article. The title is research article is New Indian Education Policy with special reference to higher education in India. And the key points of this research paper, new education policy and higher education. First of all, we need to know about the national education policy. The national education policy formulated by the regime of India to promote and enlighten the people of India. The directive covers basic education in universities, both rural and urban in India. First, her NEP formulated by the Indian regime Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1968. Second Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1986, and the third was in 2020 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. National Education Policy 2020 adopted by the Cumulative Cabinet of India on July 29, 2020. Outlining and vision for India, emerging policy replaces the previous country building policy of 1986. The policy is a framework from primary education to higher education, as well as vocational training in rural and urban areas in India. In India's inclusion policy, it aims to increase state spending on construction around 4% to 6% of GDP as soon as possible. And the objective of the study, the main objective of this study is to study the impact of new education policy on taller building. And the second one is the study also describes the main features of NEP and analyze how they affect the existing building system and the research methodology. Descriptive methods were applied to this study. The required secondary data has been accumulated from many websites, including Indian regime websites, magazines, journals, other publications. This data is then analyzed and reviewed to arrive at conclusion and conclusions. And if I talk about the features of NEP, there are many features which are the first feature is numerous entry and subsist program. Multiple entry and exist options are available for those wishing to exist the course center. Your credit will be transferred through the academic bank of credits. And the second feature is that adult learning through apps, TV channels, and technology based. Apps, online courses, modules, satellites, TV channels, online books, and libraries with ICT. Adult education centers have been established. And the third one is e-course to be accessible in topographical languages. Technology will be a part of advocacy, learning, assessment teachers, schools, and more, and students' education. Electronics content will be available in 8 major languages and other regional languages, Kannada, Odia, Bengali, etc., with e-courses available in Hindi. And the fourth one is solitary supervisory body for higher education. It means the purpose of NEP to establish the only higher education commission in India. Supervisory authorities excluding legal and medical information. And the fifth is foreign universities established to campus in India. A new law will make it easier for the world's top 100 traveling universities to operate in India. Such traveling universities will receive special special subsidies according to a Ministry of Human Resource Development, exemption from regulations, government and content norms on an equal basis with others autonomous institutions in India. And if I talk about the impact of NEP on higher education, there are many impacts, which are: first one is graded autonomy and accreditation. This is the concept of empowerment and autonomy of innovation is one of the key features of NEP in 2020. However, increased flexibility offered to autonomous body offer hope and enrichment of curriculum. In addition, in the case of conformity certification, we express that we will graduate autonomously. If you have found a university, it may develop into a research-intensive or teaching-intensive university. We declare the establishment of multidisciplinary education and research. These institutions are on equal footing, aiming to integrate existing IIT and IIM and provide interdisciplinary education to Indian students. And the second is enhancing the multidisciplinary and holistic development. NEP 2020 claims that holistic and interdisciplinary education aims to develop everyone, human abilities, smartness, aesthetics, sociability, physical ability, emotional ability, and moral ability into one integrated method. Such traces help develop individuals with multiple abilities. His 21st century critical skills in arts, humanities, languages, science, social sciences, natural sciences, professionals, technicals, and ethics of social engagement. Towards achieving such a comprehensive and multidisciplinary integration, flexibility, and the innovation research program of all higher education institutions must include edit-based courses and projects in the field of community participation and accommodation, building the environment and inculcating values. And the third one is formation and solidity of degree programs. Under the National Integration Policy Program 2020, any university degree in organization will last 3 or 4 years. You can leave your diploma during this period. Any inculcated educational institution will issue a diploma after the student take 2 years of study. The degree after student has studied for 3 years. And if I conclude the whole article, the conclusion is that the policy introduced a series of change is largely considered a progressive policy literature with a good understanding of the current socio-economic context and future prospects. Skepticism build an emerging generation of learners who basically have to interact the increasing and digitalization of economies requires a skill set so you can keep up. Seems like an even more important privilege currently with the breakthrough trends of digitization and automation being accelerated by pandemic. Overall, NEP 2020 desire to develop professionals in various fields ranging from agriculture to artificial insight. NEP paved a way for many young students aspiring to be equipped appropriate skill. The national education policy has a laudable vision, but its strength will depend on ability can integrate effectively with other policy initiatives of regimes such as Digital India, Adapt India, and Beginning Industrial Policy, to name a few aimed at creating a structure change. Political connections can ensure the politics inculcate speaking and learning about adaptness India. Experience in engaging more actively in the corporate sector to shape vocational education program to make it successful. This is also must have for make more evidence-based decision. To be familiar with rapidly changed transitions and disorders, NEP has ensured to provide real-time assessment system and monitor and review the advisory framework. This will strengthen the building system for self-reform continuously instead of waiting every 10 years for a new education policy to come into being, change courses. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, madam. Wagmare, sir.
Thank you, Sadavarshi madam. Thank you for your nice presentation. Who want to do next presentation PPT? Dear participants, who want to do the next PPT presentation? Reggie Joseph, please continue. Upload your PPT. Open your video. Are you pursuing PhD? Reggie Joseph. Reggie Joseph. Are you available, Reggie Joseph?
Yes, sir. Can I do the presentation without the PPT?
You want to go through PPT or oral?
Oral.
Okay, please continue.
My topic is like the influence of quality control approaches on employee performance within the hospitality industry. The hospitality sector is renowned for its dedication to providing our customers with great service and life-changing experiences. The quality control techniques are essential to maintain high standard and ensuring client satisfaction. The study investigates how quality control techniques affect staff productivity. The study investigates numerous quality control techniques frequently used in the hospitality industry, including standard operating procedures, performance reviews, training initiatives, and guest feedback channels. The study also examines how various quality control techniques affect employee performances, including elements like productivity, work happiness, and the caliber of the service provided. My objective of the research is to examine the impact of quality control methods on employee performance within the hospitality industry. Specifically, the study aims to achieve the following objectives. First one is to identify and analyze the various quality control methods commonly
मैडम
employed.
आपका आवाज जरा लाउड करेंगे, बड़ा करेंगे, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है आपका.
Okay, my objectives are identify and analyze the various quality control methods commonly employed in the hospitality industry, including standard operating procedures, performance evaluations, training programs, and guest feedback mechanisms. So my findings are a positive impact on employee performance, but whenever we are going to give more importance to the employees, their productivity also increases. Then the role of standard operating procedure, quality control methods, particularly the establishment and adherence of standard operating procedures, and expected to contribute significantly to the employee performance. SOPs provide clear guidance and expectations, leading to continuously and efficiently in service delivery. And again, the findings are a training program and employee performance. Whenever the employees are given more training regarding the new techniques in the market, they'll be able to perform well in the hospitality industry. And the last finding is the employee satisfaction as a mediator. It is always said that when the employees are satisfied, that satisfaction is transferred to the customer. So it is the finding through the questionnaire. I collected 103 responses from the hoteliers, the employees, and the HR managers, and I came to a conclusion that when the training management is completely more money and time in taking care of the employees, that is very much evident in the result, the outcome. The conclusion is in the highly competitive hospitality industry, where delivering exceptional service and ensuring guest satisfaction are critical. The impact of the quality control methods on employee performance cannot be understood. And this research has explored the relationship between quality control methods and the employee performance within the hospitality industry and provided valuable insights into important dynamics. Through the extensive review of the literature, it is evident that effective implementation of the quality control methods positively influences employee performance in the hospitality industry. Quality control methods such as standard operating procedures, performance evaluations, training programs, and guest feedback mechanisms play a crucial role in shaping employee behavior, job satisfaction, service quality, employee engagement.
Now finish, Regi Joseph.
Hello, yes.
Who want to do the next presentation? Dear participants, who want to do the next PPT presentation? Final call. Who want to do the next presentation of PPT, dear participants? Kalsekar sir, I think so. It is finished. PPT session.
Okay. Will you please enable the chat box, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please enable the chat box so that we can post the link for feedback and all.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Dear participants, please, sir, please continue.
I would like to hand over this next session, valedictory session, to the respective principal, sir.
Thank you, Bhagwan sir and Sanjay Kalsekar sir. This is the today we have conducted successfully one-day online international conference, and attendance is also very nice in a short period of time. I think 84 is a large number, and those researchers or students who has presented the paper, they got the confidence, and today they got the two important key address from the speakers regarding the research methodology, especially the madam who has given the excellent one, and sir has also given a very nice way how the research has to be make out and what innovation we can make out in your research, so that it should be a valuable and it should be profitable to the country also. I thanks from the management, principal, and my staff to Wagmare sir and Dr. Sanjay Kalsekar sir, Dr. Sajid Ali sir, who has taken a keen interest in organizing this conference, and those participants also. Thanks for attending this today's online conference. Thank you. Have a nice day. Over to Sanjay.
Thank you so much, sir. Wagmare sir, you would like to say anything regarding your certification, then the issue?
The certificate and the e-journal will be provided to register email address who have been registered in that As well as I would like to request all the participants to fill up the feedback form which is put in the chat box, please. Herewith, I would like to announce the conference and the PPT session was very outstanding. The lecture resource person was very outstanding. Whatever the PPT presentation session was very outstanding. Overall, this international one-day international conference organized by the Kalsekar College, Mumbai, Thane, Maharashtra, India was very outstanding and successful. I would like to next further to say, with the permission of Principal Sir and Kalsekar Sir, whether I have to stop our international conference recording and Zoom meeting with the permission of Principal and Kalsekar Sir.
Just a minute, sir. I'll have one more announcement and then we'll wind up.
Yes, sir.
Last, I'm very much indebted to Honorable Management, Chairman, Honorable Chairman of Darul Rahmat Trust, Honorable Maklai sir, all my other trustees, my principal sir, the convener of this conference, co-convener of this conference, all my organizing team who have tirelessly worked to make this international conference a grand success. I'm very thankful to both the guest speakers, keynote speaker, Dr. Abhijit Kelkar sir, the other guest, Janice Fernandez madam, and all the scholars who have come across from the globe and have presented their papers, have sent their papers for publication. Once again, I thank everyone who is directly, indirectly become a part of this conference and have helped us in making this event a successful one. Thank you so much, everyone, again.
Thank you, sir. I'm ending this conference, stop this conference with the permission of Principal Sir and Kalsekar Sir. Whether I have to stop, sir?
Yes, stop, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please post these links on WhatsApp and Telegram group also, so that
Yes,
all
feedback should get we should get the
feedback form will
feedback.
be sent to the Telegram and WhatsApp groups. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.